LD.
That is crazy. That's crazy because when I see shots fired, I see you in the chat before the show starts.
And the crazy thing is, he even shares your name. Jordan Clay in the chat, he said LD must be the host because we're late. And so JD was like, "Yeah, man, we got to start the show now because I can't tolerate slander."
No, that's
you're
crazy.
Proving it to them, bro. We're late. You're the host, LD, bro.
Bro, what? No. When we're late, usually it falls on Ron's shoulders because Ron is L host. We are big dubs over here. Like, nothing but dubs. We do is catch
only
dubs.
Dub is Dubinaires, so.
Yes, I am the only Dubinaire, Jay. Let's not get it twisted.
But I claimed my allegiance to the Dubinaires last episode.
You did. You know what? That is true.
So, or is it like a very exclusive club? Like, how do we get in?
Jay, I mean, I am. This is what it is, right? I am always open to people joining my force. But when somebody has relentlessly tried to bash me, relentlessly have tried to attack me, it's very hard for me to trust, and that's where all relationships and all allegiances are built on.
He might be a sleeper cell.
Okay. Wait, Dub, can we maybe use this episode to clear the air between you and I? Like, I feel like there's been just some bottled up emotions between the two of us, and I just want to clear the air so we can move forward as brothers and nothing but love.
Don't fall for it, Dub.
The player's choice eternity.
I will, as a Dubinaire, I need to be honest. And when I was a Doubleaholic, I had a thing called little man syndrome. And and with my little man syndrome, there were times in the episodes where I just wanted to reach across my camera and just slap you in the face so hard. And I really couldn't because of who you are and what you represent to this team. As a Dubinaire, though, I am willing to let go of these feelings. I am willing to move on from these feelings. I will not be basing my actions upon my emotions and my little man syndrome, per se. But at the end of the day, Jay, nothing changes. I have to be mindful with you. If you do want to join the Dubinaires, I do appreciate that. But you have to prove to me that you are not the hypocrite and the L host that you have been for the last 160 episodes.
Okay.
So how's life treating you on the other side of the syndrome spectrum?
That's a great question. Great question.
For me?
Yeah.
As a Dubinaire?
No, as a you said Napoleon complex, little man syndrome, whatever, right?
Yeah, so we're moving on beyond that.
Yeah. Like you're on the other side now. Like how's it feel?
It feels great.
Is the grass greener?
I feel like a changed man. Less angry, less stressful. And more listening. I think I have more cooperative conversations when I'm not over here trying to be angry and yelling at people. So it's definitely the Dubinaires are on top. Never forget that. If you guys do care to join, I'm going to set up a Discord tag. I'm going to change the tag as well. The Doubleholics could still be there. You could be a member of both the Doubleholics and the Dubinaires. I'm a Doubleholic on Saturday nights. I will never change that. But Dubinaires on top.
Fire.
I don't want to sound like I'm toxic or anything, but I'm a Doubleaholic to the death of me.
And I won't be mad at you.
I need Dub in his nastiest phase when I'm around him. When you on air, pause. I need you to really be like Dub.
But I like this Dub. This Dub is amazing.
I like this Dub too.
I like all dubs.
I like elevation.
No,
there's a couple dubs that I don't care for, but I do like the majority of the dubs.
The issue is that there's a lot of people that don't understand or don't hear what I'm saying, and that's part of me just getting all up in my emotions. So I do want to represent my cases in a more understandable and productive manner. And me being a Doubleaholic, although it's very fun, a lot of people get things misconstrued and misunderstood. So this is the perfect way to represent that. Dubinaires is on top. I don't know about y'all, but I am heat today. My head is about to explode.
Yeah. All right. So moving forward, I understand that I have to gain your respect. It's not going to happen all in one day. It's going to be over the course of time.
Yeah, JD, check your
time will heal all wounds. I respect that. That's fine. Hey, I will own up to the ways that I have treated you in the past, Dub. I will apologize. I am sorry. I hope that we can move on from this and we could be bros. It could be all love up here. You know, I might go from muting you a handful of times to just maybe once a show or maybe once every other show. Who knows? I'll start limiting my mutes.
I'm going to tell you what I told a female who treated me so wrongly and did something terrible to me. I would say time does heal all, but sometimes it's not meant to heal. So I don't know. We will have to see.
So is
And I will
Devin
be
there? Is he a philosopher on the side? Like, do you write poetry and shit? It's
Me?
Yeah, you.
I've always had this in my bag. I'm very articulate, and I'm very, when I do want to be, very educated. And
It's the,
you just
it's the
seen
Drake
that.
in you, huh? It's that
It's
light
the
skin in
Drake?
you.
No,
Yeah, it's
Drake
that
is not
light skin.
educated. He's just emotional. He gets in his bag a lot, and he just likes to be in his feelings. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about a female cheating on me. That's just not me. I will be upset and angry about it, but I'm not gonna be in my pillow sitting here. Why did she cheat on me? No, that's not me. That's Drake, not me.
Mamba Multiverse said, Ron, great job hosting the panel. Love that show.
Oh man, I love that show too. I think I do a pretty good job as well, man.
Dub host over there on the panel. Huh?
Yeah.
Ron, do you think you could host Player's Choice the way that you host the panel though? Is this like a different realm?
It's a completely different realm, and with Dub being who he is now, I don't know. It's a completely different world over here. Mars when he gets nasty. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Player's Choice is global. I know that we've mentioned this a few shows just throughout our 169 episodes now. But we got a recent review. We haven't gotten a ton of reviews on the podcast, but we got one from South Korea. He said, love this show. Love from Korea. Enjoy listening on my way to school and when I'm exercising. Hope y'all blow up even more. And JD, if you see this, tell Shaq he's my favorite, and it's not even close. That's from Obi.
Fire.
Thank you,
Shout
brother.
out,
Appreciate
Korea,
that.
that's crazy, man.
We'll let Shaq know. Hopefully he's tuned in and he heard that. Bros, what's good, man? What's going on? I'm excited to be here today.
What is
Mars?
going on?
Dub.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't appreciate that. Every time we start this show, we have to wait 30, maybe half an hour for an ounce of a word from you. So I think Jay, we should start every show. Mars has to say at least a hello or hi, how's everyone doing, or just say something, because I don't appreciate that. Mars, I love hearing your talk. Your voice could really put me to sleep, honestly, if I were to play it at night. And I just, I would like to hear more from you. So please say something.
I forgot you had a secret infatuation with Mars's voice and Shaq's on the low.
Shaq's voice is amazing. Mars's voice is top tier. My brother told me the other day it's probably one of the best voices I've ever heard in my life.
Mars, you need to start doing like commercial voiceovers and stuff like that.
I sound like everyone else in London. Like, if I did anything in London, no one would talk about my voice. But you guys are uncultured.
Mars, what?
Damn.
Uncultured is crazy. Mars, what's going on in your world, bro? Like, what's going on outside the show? You got anything exciting going on?
No.
Fire.
I come on the show, I talk basketball, and then I come off the show, watch basketball, ready to talk more basketball in the next show.
What basketball have you been watching recently? You've been watching like old school tapes?
I mean, I had to make sure that I wasn't wrong on my Magic Johnson agenda, so I had to go watch some Magic Johnson games to make sure that I was
You
correct.
were wrong, huh?
I was not
Yeah.
wrong. Well, I was 100% correct.
Ah.
So I spent a lot of time watching old Magic Johnson games, and then I was also watching the 04 finals yesterday, which was interesting. But yeah,
I remember
Wait,
now
what?
at the end of last show. I don't remember if we were still on air or not, but you said that you had some Magic Johnson agenda to push today.
Oh yeah.
yes,
I don't remember this.
Do you want me to get into the Magic Johnson agenda?
Well, really-
You already left the
completely
show,
ready?
I think.
Really quick.
Did
we're
you
gonna-
do all your research? Do you?
Yes, I did.
Your
I did
agenda
that.
is set
He's
in stone.
prepared. He's prepared.
Listen,
So let's.
Ron, you may not have a good show because I also have something to say. Did you see what I sent you? Let's get into that later, man. Mark,
Okay,
You sent me
so,
something exclusively?
nah. I sent it in the group chat on Instagram.
so let me hit this really quick. Quentin Davis Bright said, "Yo, Jay, I'm glad you appreciated my message on IG. Q, always good to hear from you, bro. Appreciate you always just staying tapped in and hitting us with all the love, man. It's dope." Before we get into this Magic Johnson agenda, I just want to give you guys kind of a overview of what is to come in this show. So we're going to be talking about what is going on in Phoenix. There's still some beef, I think, between Ayton and Monty Williams. I'd like to discuss some of that. And then we'll talk about some NBA Media Day coverage and other kind of spicy topics that are going on right now leading into the NBA season. We're less than a month away. We're like a couple weeks away, right? October 18th or 19th?
Yeah, October 19th.
A few weeks away, yes.
Or no, it's the
Basketball
18th.
season is approaching.
Basketball
Either way,
season
it's-
is upon us.
Yeah, it's the 18th.
Winter is here.
The Sixers play the Celtics first on TNT, and then the Lakers play the Warriors. Got a smooth doubleheader.
Can we
Fire.
address something that before Mars gets in his bag, that 7th denim put right here?
Please.
Put it up on the screen. Dub still thinks it's impossible for robots to be programmed to capture stats like rebounds, steals, and blocks. That is not what I said. All I said was it's extremely difficult, and it's not something that I think we should expect within the next 3 to 5 years. That's part of me clarifying what I said instead of me just being in my bag. Of course it can happen. Technology, the things that humans are doing and capable is endless. The possibilities are endless, but it's something that's going to be extremely difficult to do. Continue, Mars.
Yo, this
All right,
is something
Mars.
that's been lingering on for like 3-4 shows. Like I missed it. Can I just know how this whole thing started?
Oh, you missed it. Okay,
I don't want to get all the way back.
We'll
into
give you
it
the
'cause y'all
quick.
already
We'll
did
give you
it.
the quick synopsis. So we were just talking about how it had to do with reffing or not reffing, stat keeping, and human error, and like it's up to interpretation of how you would calculate an assist. And then we kind of got into this bag of like, what if technology could just essentially calculate all the stats for us, and it just automatically in a computer it's calculated as opposed to somebody writing in a scorebook. And then we just kind of debated the possibilities of that and whatnot. And there is an aspect of that Shaq actually brought to our attention outside the show that is currently happening with a software for like watching film and whatnot. So there is technology there that does exist. It's just a matter of is that something that they would implement into the NBA. But anyway, we don't have to get all into that because that was from like 2 or 3 episodes ago. If you want to hear the entire conversation, go watch 166 or 167, I believe. But anyway, Mars, what is this Magic Johnson agenda?
It's about mainly the way people talk about Magic Johnson, especially the first finals he was in. When, like, for example, there was a TikTok that was posted on the Players' Choice channel where it was about Dub's take on Chris Paul and Magic Johnson. And if you read the comments, you hear people talking about Magic Johnson replacing Kareem. Magic Johnson could play center. He could guard 1 through 5. All of that is nonsense. None of it is true. It's all made up. It's people just spewing revisionist history about nothing that actually happened in the game. If you watch the game, which I had to take my due diligence and do, even though I've watched it before, but I had to confirm so no one could say I was making it up. The only thing Magic Johnson did in that game that would imply he played center was do the jump ball at the start of the game. That's the only thing he did. And the only reason he did the jump ball was because the player who actually played center for the Lakers, Jim Jones, can't jump that high. That's the only reason he did it. He didn't guard Darryl Dawkins, who was the Philadelphia 76ers center. He didn't guard him for one possession, not one time. He was guarding Caldwell Jones and Bobby Jones when he came into the game. That's who he was guarding. Nothing really changed because they added Michael Cooper into the starting lineup. Magic Johnson didn't go from guarding Lionel Hollins to guarding a 4. He was either guarding Caldwell Jones the whole series or Dr. J. Nothing changed. He didn't change schematically. Nothing changed defensively. He was guarding the same people he always guarded. The only difference was Kareem didn't play and Michael Cooper went into the starting lineup. And people just ran with that because Magic Johnson had a great game, which I'm not denying. He was great. But he didn't replace Kareem and play center and start.
So what was the starting lineup?
It was Michael Cooper, Norm Nixon, Jim Jones, Magic Johnson, and Jamal Wilkes. That was the starting 5. Norm Nixon at the 1, Michael Cooper at the 2, Jamal Wilkes at the 3, Magic Johnson at the 4, and Jim Jones at the 5. Magic Johnson didn't guard Darryl Dawkins, who was the Sixers center the whole series. He didn't go near him. The only thing he did was do a jump ball, and people ran with it and acted like Magic Johnson could guard 1 through 5. He couldn't even guard 1s. He wasn't guarding Lionel Hollins that series. He couldn't guard 2s. It was Michael Cooper and Norm Nixon guarding the 1s and 2s. He was either guarding Dr. J or Caldwell Jones. He couldn't guard anyone in his own position, and he couldn't guard 5s. People ran with that narrative. I don't know why they ran with the narrative, but now they use it to say that Magic Johnson was some versatile defender. He wasn't even a good defender. It's just made up, and people just go and run with it, and he didn't even deserve the Finals MVP. But that's a completely different story. But people just, when we talk about the old players, the stories about them tend to carry their legacy more than what actually happened on the court. And Magic Johnson in that 1v5 myth is probably the biggest example of that we have in recent history. And that was something I had to say because people just keep saying it. I had a debate in the YouTube comments about it with one guy. He said that Magic Johnson could guard 1 through 5. I asked him how he knew that. He said, "Did you watch the first finals?" I knew he had never watched the first finals, but he wanted to say that I wasn't the one watching it. But I know he's wrong, and I just had to say that to the world.
So that comment is what set a fire under you, that you had to go watch this so you could prove him wrong.
I see it all the time, and I knew it was never true because I'd watched the series. But then I saw the comments in TikTok talking about it. And the thing is, a lot of people, especially on TikTok, because they're all young, they're all like 13, 14. They don't understand basketball at all. So they just talk and they go based off what they've heard.
Damn,
they don't
19-year-old
confirm.
Mars being ageist is crazy.
It's crazy.
Because the thing is, I watch basketball.
Talking about Magic Johnson.
I know what's going on. I know what happens because I take the time to watch these games. These people don't know what happened. They hear from their parents or whoever, "Oh, Magic Johnson played center." Now they go and tell their kids, and that's how rumors start. And people just want to agree with it, but they don't do their own knowledge. They don't check. They don't fact check. They don't do none of that. They read the box score. Magic Johnson 42, 15, and 7. Kareem didn't play. Oh, Magic Johnson played center and had a great game. That's as far as their knowledge goes. But me, I actually watch the games, can confirm what actually happened. But those people, like, their basketball understanding isn't that high to.
Mars,
So he wasn't in there banging in the post. He wasn't guarding the center.
No. Caldwell Jones was more of a, for the time, he was more of a stretch four. He wasn't shooting threes, but he was more operating in the mid range. He wasn't a post player. He wasn't even a scorer. Like, they never gave the ball to Caldwell Jones and said, "Go get a bucket." That wasn't a thing. And then Bobby Jones, everyone knows he was a great defender. There wasn't much offense with him either. Like, Magic Johnson wasn't doing anything on defense. 1980, Magic Johnson was a liability on defense. So people just running with that narrative. Like, it just shows that they don't take the time to watch these.
You watched all the games?
I watched every single game of the series.
Oh, yeah, series. I thought you were about to say the season. I was like,
no. And Kareem 100% deserved the Finals MVP, but obviously he got hurt and missed Game 6, and Magic Johnson had a great game, so he won the awards. Similar to how
do you think that was controversial, the way that they made it like out to be? Because that was a big like.
Looking back on it, I believe it's a bad decision that Magic Johnson won it. But I understand because they did the same thing with James Worthy in '88 because he had the big Game 7. He won the Finals MVP. Magic Johnson clearly deserved that one as well. So back in the day, it seemed to be whoever had the big closeout game would, if like it was close, they would win the Finals MVP. I don't agree with that, but that's how they seem to do it. So I guess it balanced out. Magic got one he didn't deserve, but he lost one he did deserve. So
okay.
Hey, shout out Blank Boys in the chat.
Mars, that was actually beautiful, bro. I almost shed a tear. Like, honestly, that was just beautiful to see, beautiful to hear. So I would like to ask you this question. Don't you think that a healthy Chris Paul could possibly do the same thing that Magic Johnson has done on the Lakers?
In the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. And I go a step further to say that they don't lose to Houston in 1984, I believe. Is it 84 or 86? One of them years where the Lakers were in turmoil that year. And part of the blame towards that is Magic Johnson because he requested a trade because he didn't like the coaching change. And they were trying to change the system and take the ball out of his hands. And he actually requested a trade. And it kind of ruined the Lakers' chemistry that season. But
so Chris Paul's never requested a trade? Dub, this is nasty. You talking about this is beautiful because it pushes your Chris Paul, your nasty Chris Paul agenda.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful because he's waking up the masses. He's waking up the masses. He's killing narratives that needs to be killed. They hold Magic Johnson and act as if this guy didn't have a damn Norm Nixon, a Jamal Wilkes, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he didn't start with a more superior supporting cast in NBA history. And they put this man on a pedestal as if it's no question that he's the best point guard of all time, and it's ridiculous.
He deserves because he's the best point guard of all time.
Because of what? Winning. That's it.
Winning, yes.
When we talk about his game, we talk about
yes.
he has the same deficiencies as Stephen Curry on defense as well, and the impact that Stephen Curry has on the offensive end. I mean, come on, bro.
Yo. But this is because this is what I was about to get into with Mars. He was talking about, and this is the question I have for you. You said he was a liability on defense. What made Magic a liability on defense?
Yes,
But
in
not-
1980, he was a liability.
Not only
What
this
made him a liability?
but hold on, this liability thing. Like we're talking about one of the greatest basketball players to ever play basketball ever, and then you're
He
comparing
wasn't one of the greatest
him
in his rookie
to
year.
Chris Paul.
But he
Who
wasn't
cares
one of the
about
greatest
rookie year?
years.
I'm talking
That's
about.
what I was talking about.
I'm talking about in
1980
totality.
finals, he was a rookie.
Okay, that's
1980
fine.
finals,
That's
he was a
fine.
rookie. He was a liability on defense that whole year.
That's
including
fine.
the playoffs.
That's
And
fine.
what I
But
said.
Dub just said that CP3 could do what Magic did. Unless you were
Barring-
just talking about specifically then.
No, yes, barring injury, and this is the main thing that I have to say about Chris Paul. And barring injury, this guy's one of the most complete point guards of all time. There's really no flaws in his game, and what he does in the postseason, he always performs to the task. There's maybe like 2 or 3
Well,
postseasons
okay,
where
wait.
he has.
When you say he could do the same thing that Magic could have, did, you mean like just the success?
Just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
success. I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about winning.
okay.
Maybe not the MVPs because a lot of people love Magic Johnson, and I can't determine how people's gonna feel about giving out MVP awards because it's all determined on narrative.
I
But
want to tap in
I
Sports
think that they
Fluent.
win 5 chips
Sports
no matter
Fluent,
what.
I need you to come up here and cook these bozos. Sports Fluent, please chime in if you're ready to come on the show.
Calling Sports
'Cause
Fluent.
He will come in here and set the record. You guys will log off the show, I swear. If he comes
Hold
in.
on.
About what?
Also, Sports Fluent is the biggest Magic fan in all of the Players' Choice.
And he was
network.
the only one who actually watched all of those games as well.
But when you get
So-
old, your memory gets a little fuzzy,
Because he
and
watched them as
just
they
because you
happened
watch
more
them
than I
doesn't
did.
mean your memory
Because he
serves you
watched
And when,
them.
correct.
you're, and when you're
I
young, you
trust,
tend to
I
exaggerate
trust my
things.
2-week old memory more than I trust his 40-year-old memory. I watched the series much more.
Ageist Mars is fire, man.
Mars,
I
Mars,
love it. Everybody
Mars,
could get
I'm
it.
not gonna lie.
Fucking babies and strollers, senior citizens, everybody could get it, man.
Nobody's safe out here.
I assume I've watched the series more recently than Fluent has, so I'm going to trust what I watched more than I'm going to trust what he watched.
But hold
I
on,
don't
no.
get why people say you have to watch them live to get it. I don't agree.
Let's
If I've gone back and
let's
watched,
let's get back
I
into
still
that
saw it.
though, because you call it Magic a liability on
As a
defense. I
rookie.
want to know. I want to
Yes.
know how much weight that really holds, and what that has to do with him being able to guard 1 through 5. Nobody ever said Magic was gonna lock up the 1, lock up the 2, put the center in shackles, and he won't be able to get a rebound. Nobody said that. The ability to be able to guard 1 through 5 is still an asset.
But how
That-
do you have the
and
ability
that's-
to
and that's
do it
all
if
we
you
were
can't
saying.
guard them?
How many above average defenders are in the league? How many elite defenders are in the league? You can probably count on both hands elite defenders in the NBA. And that's it. Yo, I say Zion Williamson can play defense, and you guys lost your mind.
Yeah, he can't.
Oh, speaking of
Okay,
Zion, I want
so
to talk
you see
about
what I'm
Zion,
saying?
too.
So, bro,
I just,
being
but
in the
Magic
passing
Johnson
lane,
couldn't
being
guard
in the
1 through 5
passing,
just because he was standing there doesn't mean he was
who
guarding
can
them.
guard 1 through 5?
Not many people. That's why Magic
Who?
Johnson shouldn't be thrown into that
Yo,
conversation.
Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year last year and
Yeah,
was
he
in the
can't guard
finals
1
getting
through 5.
cooked.
Yeah, he
So
can't
who can guard 1 through
either, but
5?
no one
Yeah,
says he can.
I mean, if we're talking about, elite defenders, quote unquote, right? You will put an elite defender on an elite offensive guy. The elite offensive guy, if he's on, when he's on, there is no defending that person. So
And
it
that's
doesn't
the
really
point I'm
matter.
trying to
Like
make.
everybody's
I
getting
agree with
cooked.
that, but Magic Johnson
Exactly.
wasn't guarding elite guys. He still wasn't good. He couldn't guard his own position.
You just said he was guarding Dr. J.
Didn't. And, do you
And-
know what
and who
he
is
was
that?
doing in that series?
And who is that?
And Magic Johnson was not doing a good job. Just so you know.
But
And-
that's the
and
point
they-
we
and he
just
wasn't
made.
guarding
It doesn't-
him the whole time.
It wouldn't have. Yo, I
Because you
don't
are
care if
guarding
you would have
someone,
put
it doesn't mean you're a good
put
defender.
Ron Artest in a time machine and sent him back to that series. Dr. J Cook and Ron
Do a
Artest.
better
too.
job. You know why? Because he's a good defender. Magic Johnson wasn't a good defender.
I just
He
said
could-
Ron Artest would get cooked too, and he's a good
Okay,
defender.
I'm not saying Magic Johnson don't get cooked by Dr. J. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he wasn't a good defender. I'm not saying he
Okay,
wasn't a good
but
defender because
that-
he got cooked by Dr. J. He wasn't a good defender because he was too slow to guard his own position, which is point guard. He couldn't guard shooting guards for the same reason. He couldn't guard any athletic wings, Dr. J included. He could only guard stretch fours who weren't post players, and he couldn't guard 1-5. There was not one post player who Magic Johnson could legitimately guard. He had either guard unathletic threes or stretch fours. That's as far as his limit of guarding went. He wasn't
So
a
you're
good
saying
defender by any
that's
measure.
that's all he could lock up is what you're saying.
No,
That's
he
all
didn't lock
could-
up
I
anyone.
mean,
That's all
but
he
to
could
be
guard
fair
and
though,
not liability.
that's a lot of like average defenders spectrum. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that is as far as their defensive
In his prime,
capabilities
he was
go.
average. In his prime, he was average. As a rookie, he was below average. He wasn't even good at guarding anyone as a rookie.
Yo,
And
the
that's
point.
why he's a rookie. I don't expect.
J-Rob,
him
you
to
don't
be
own any
that
lights?
in that finals.
Hold on, I'm about to turn some on right now. It's not light enough, right? I was thinking the same thing. Hold on.
I like that
Yo,
hoodie
Bart.
though.
The point I'm making is he was tall enough to guard any big. At 6'9", he could guard a center. I'm not saying he could lock him up. He could guard a center. He could guard a power forward. You just said he can guard threes. Now, when it comes to point guards and shooting guards, yes, you said, okay, yeah, he's not fast enough. But at the same time, that's when I go to your dude, Steph Curry. He can't guard point guards either. So it's like
he's an average defender, and he was a liability.
Okay, but that's the point I'm making, though. You don't have to be a great defender to guard somebody. He can guard 1 through 5. He may not be exceptional at guarding ones. He might not be amazing at guarding 5s.
If you're a
you know what you're saying?
half of the positions
to guard
on the
1
court,
through 5.
you can't guard 1 through 5.
No, nobody said he was an elite defender.
So why do people say he can guard 1 through 5?
Because he can guard 1 through 5. I just told you he can guard 1 through 5.
Steph Curry can get switched onto a center, and he's technically guarding them. So Steph
Not
can guard 1 through
necessarily.
5.
Okay, but Magic can guard a point guard better than Steph Curry can guard a center.
Like Rudy is switching out on the wing defender,
Exactly,
and he's
Rudy
technically
guards
guarding
1
him
through
too.
5
Yo,
because he switches onto point guard.
Magic guarding a point guard, nobody's going to pick on Magic and just say, oh,
That's
we're
what they
isoing
did.
Magic all
Go
game.
watch Magic Johnson guarding Isaiah Thomas, and look what happens. He can't stay in front of people.
That's one.
Who
That's
can
one.
stay
That's
in front
one
of
player.
Isaiah Thomas?
That was the first
You're bringing
example
up
that came to
elite
my mind.
players.
Point guards,
Who
he
can
couldn't
stay in
guard
front-
point guards. There
You
wasn't
name
one
me
point guard Magic Johnson could stay in front of consistently.
I'm
Not
sure
one.
there was one point guard.
There's not a
You
starting
name me
point guard
somebody
the
in
NBA who
history
Magic Johnson
that
could
can
stay
guard Isaiah Thomas. Nate, give me one person.
in front of. Jesus Christ.
So they
I hate this
don't try to
point. No,
isolate
Wait,
Ron,
Jesus
Ron,
Christ?
Ron,
Jesus
Ron,
Christ could probably
Ron,
Don't
guard
try to
Isaiah Thomas.
isolate Magic Johnson on Isaiah
I
Thomas.
hate no, it's
The
not that.
example,
I
Magic
hate
Johnson
that
wasn't
point.
guarding any point guards. There was a reason why they had to get Michael Cooper. There was a reason Norm Nixon was playing defense. Jamal Wilkes
Okay,
forgot
and who
Magic
but then
Johnson.
okay, so now I'm finna go down the whole spectrum of great players who didn't have to guard people because you saved your great players for offense.
That's fine.
Why
None
does-
of them
why
get
does
labeled
LeBron
as 1
get
through
Shane
5
Battier?
defenders.
Why does
None of
LeBron
them
get
get
Shane
labeled as
Battier
1 through 5
on this
defenders.
season?
That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. I don't care about Magic Johnson's defense. I never use it in arguments. But when people say he could guard 1 through 5, which is objectively false, I'm going to talk about his defense and how it was trash.
It's not false though. It's not.
Well,
I
it's
think
false because
Ron,
never
what
guarded those guys.
Ron, what you're saying is just because you have the ability to do something, then you have to win points. I mean, Jokic has the ability to guard 1 through 5. Rudy Gobert has the ability to guard 1
What?
through 5. That doesn't
Everyone
make
has
Yeah,
the
no,
ability
that's
to
not-
guard
yeah.
a point guard. It
No,
doesn't
everybody,
mean that-
every no, wait, Euro, wait,
Rudy
Euro,
Gobert
wait.
He's-
performs in front of
Yo,
point
Dub
guards.
is
Guarding
Dub is
point
actually right.
Ron, before you go crazy, Euro, what I'm saying is, what Ron is saying, just because you have the ability to do something does not mean that you're good at it. But just because somebody has the ability to guard 1 through 5, that should be winning points. I'm
bong.
saying no. If you're a bad defender, you're a bad defender. Regardless if you're versatile or not, you're bad. That's what the point I was making.
So
Yeah.
you can be a versatile defender, but still be bad at every aspect of your versatility.
Just because you can
Like
guard
you can be
1 through
below
5, you can still be bad.
if you can guard 1 through 5, right? You can be a below average defender defending the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. Like that's what
Yes.
you're saying.
Euro, what he's
Yes.
saying, is technically, and he's not wrong, every single player can guard 1 through 5.
You know why?
But they can't stop
We should stop.
1 through
we
5.
should not even introduce that shit because technically
Oh, I'm
speaking,
introducing it.
everybody that lives on this planet
Exactly.
Earth can be an NBA player because we toss this
I don't know
motherfucker
about
a
that,
jersey.
though.
And boom,
Exactly,
we put him,
that's
we
why
sub
it's
him in,
nonsense
and
to say
guess
Michael
what? He's an
was
NBA
guarding
player.
1 through
Come
5,
on,
because he
Euro,
wasn't
that's
doing
a little
anything.
bit.
That's what
No.
he's doing. Like
No.
we should,
No.
and if you think that's
He has a
nasty, I
point,
think
though.
that's nasty too. We should just dismiss all of that. Like, let's not even talk about that. That's crazy.
All right, well, let's not. We have some super chats. I'd like to actually get to
Yeah,
these
go
super
ahead.
chats because the Magic Johnson agenda, here for it. Thank
Fire,
you for
Mars.
bringing that up, Mars. That was great conversation. Mike Will, hope you fellas are having a great Wednesday. Road to 100K. Facts, Mike
know
Will. We're
it.
gonna hit that fast, bro. Thank you for the
You
super
know
chat. Leaf Diggy, good job clearing up the Magic narrative 1 through 5. Thank you, Leaf Diggy, for the super chat. King of Jers, bro. Mars's LBJ game 6 versus Celtics right now. Sheesh. And 7th Denim, cool, but how does this affect LeBron's legacy? Did you guys see LeBron's tweet that he deleted where God,
The
what did
mid
it
from
say?
Akron?
The mid from Akron.
Fire.
That's going to be used all season.
Forever.
That is
Yeah,
crazy,
forever.
bro. TC the Dawn. Dub and JD teaming up is the new Dudley boys. Let's go. Dub and I are about to be on
High five, brother.
some shit for the next
High
few
five.
weeks. Hey, J-Rob, by the way, I don't know if you were tapped into the beginning of the show, but, this is a
Just let
show
me
where
hang.
we get to get stuff off our chest. We get to apologize to one another for, just kind of being nasty to each other. So I'm just opening up the floor if you'd like to apologize to me or?
Well, you were just nasty me again. You left me hanging. I said high five.
Oh, my
brother.
bad, bro.
Jeez, there we go.
My bad. Didn't see it.
Apologize to you, JD.
Yeah,
For what?
for being nasty.
Bro, you was out here disrespecting me on Twitter and my UConn Huskies, bro.
That was hilarious.
You
That
was
back and
killing me,
forth
bro.
was crazy.
You know that video, Adrian Broner, like, damn, I'm getting cooked.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I felt in that moment. Like, I had no defense. We was losing by 40, getting smoked by 40. Like, he called, bro. This man calls me at the game, bro. FaceTime me at the game, bro. Said, this is what a real Husky looks like. So if anybody's out here killing me, bro, it's you, and I deserve the apology. I was on Twitter getting cooked because of you with no defense. With absolutely no defense.
Yo.
Is JD a menace to society?
There was a
Yes.
50-point route going on while you're out here comparing Huskies, bro.
Yeah, that was
Jesus.
it was pretty fire. Okay,
Dub,
sorry.
to answer
J-Rob.
your question, absolutely. A lot of you guys don't know the real JD. This is just the host JD. The
Yes.
real JD,
He's a jerk.
different breed.
He's a bit of a
different
jerk.
breed.
Yo, to be honest,
I-
you guys
Toxic-
seriously
toxic
don't know the
JD.
real JD. Like, it's
Listen, man,
crazy.
I feel like I didn't know him either, but you know, JD and I we linked up. What was it, like on Sunday
Yeah.
after the last episode, and I've gotten to know JD just a little bit, and the part that I got to know is that he's a lightweight.
I can see that for sure.
Yo, can we let's tell
this
the story. Let's tell the story.
Tell the story.
I
You
mean,
get
I
drunk
could
off fucking
absolutely
beers.
see that one.
Yo, okay, so
Hold
Euro
on, no. How many beers though?
Yo, Euro thought
we
this
gotta-
was
we gotta break
crazy.
that down.
So okay,
It's
so
like
Sunday,
IPAs?
last Sunday, I mentioned this at the top of the show. I was hanging, like I was hungover. We were celebrating my buddy's birthday, and I had only taken 2 shots, but I had like 6 IPAs or something. And IPAs pretty heavy. Like I could usually only do like 2 or 3 before it starts hitting that like, okay, I should probably slow down level. And so when we linked, Euro's like, oh, how you feeling? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, you know, still hanging, whatever. And he's like, what were you drinking? And I was like, oh, you know, some beer, some IPAs. And he looks at me with his dead serious. He goes, you get drunk off beers? Yo, he
I would
was,
say the same thing.
it was
That
like
shit
an
is so
insult.
childish.
It's
It is so childish, man.
Hold up though. 6
it depends
IPAs
on how
ain't light
fast.
though.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm.
Nah, IPAs
Hold on,
aren't
hold on.
light, though. He is right about that. They aren't.
What kind of IPAs and what size?
Whatever. All them shits is fruity, man. Like, what
Yo,
are we doing, bro? This
Euro,
is lemonade
no,
with a
Euro,
little
I'm
bit of
telling you,
alcohol in it.
IPA is
Nah,
heavy,
Euro.
though.
The
I'll give
children
Euro-
in Europe drink this.
Euro IPAs ain't no joke.
Whatever,
Like,
fool.
like, all right, Euro. I'm telling you, take that. 6
I
IPAs.
know, bro. I tried to drink them joints.
Oh, you can't. You just don't drink beer. Is that what you're saying?
No, I drink. No, what you talking about, man? Like, I was born and raised in Germany.
I'm asking.
Like,
you drink
Oktoberfest is like, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what we
yeah.
do,
Nah,
bro.
for
I can't
sure,
even
for
count
sure,
on.
for sure.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
I was born and raised in Germany.
Yeah, how many shots would it take for you to get drunk, Euro?
Shots of what?
Liquor, Hennessy.
No, like shots of what? Because if we talking, like, you give me 1 shot of tequila, I'm done for the night. Like, I'm probably gonna throw that one up because I
Henny?
can't stomach tequila.
We're talking about
Henny?
lightweights. I mean,
Henny, I can do like shots back to back, more than half a bottle, easy,
Jesus.
Damn.
easy.
Yeah, that would send me to the moon.
How many is that? That's like
I'd be
what, like 10?
spinning like a top.
I don't know.
Nah.
That's not. I don't know if that's 10. That might be more than 10. But drinking.
No,
that-
because the top,
No, 'cause-
because the top of the bottle is skinny. So it's
Bro,
not
there's
that
only
many.
there's only like 12 shots in a fifth or something like that. Right? Something
I
like
can
Something
like
like
I
that.
can
I'm
kill.
tripping.
Like I can kill a bottle easy. Like I mean, I'm not. You know, I don't want to sound like a degenerate and shit, but like I mean, I can drink dark easy.
With that being said, please, everyone watching, do not try that at home. We are not encouraging binge
Facts,
drinking.
dog.
This
You're-
is
you're like 6'8" too, so he a little bigger than your
Yeah.
average person. So it's
you
like, yeah,
five
don't
you
do that.
5'6" MFs in the chat. I know you're all 5'6". Leaf
Hey.
Diggy.
There's some short people out here.
He said off topic, but I got Jokic for MVP guaranteed. Jokic with the 3-peat. That'd be nasty. All right, let's talk about what is going on in the NBA right now. Can we start with Zion? Have you guys seen what he's looking like right now?
Yeah, I would love to start with Zion.
Lean and mean. Go ahead, Ron.
It's gonna be a major "I told you so" season. telling you.
I'm ready to watch Zion play basketball.
Zion is about to come destroy the league, and it's about to be fun to watch. You gonna see Duke Zion in the NBA.
What kind of season do you see for him this year?
Since CJ McCollum's over there, I think his scoring average is going to go down from when he averaged 28. What it was like 28.
I forgot.
Like 27,
7
like
in.
And they got Ingram.
I still see him
I was about to say
28. I still see that.
There's a lot of points
here's
on
the
that
thing.
team.
I think he's gonna fly under the radar, as is everybody else on New Orleans. But they will be the sleeper because they're a small market team. Nobody's gonna be paying attention to them, and they're gonna rack up some dubs. Like, you're gonna all of a sudden it's like, oh shit.
Well, bro.
I mean,
yeah, like I feel like they can be what the Cavs were last year.
Before Zion got hurt, he was getting a lot of garbage buckets, but he's going to have an opportunity to get even more garbage buckets, and the heat's going to be taken off him with the addition of CJ McCollum being the elite scorer that he is. Yes, I said elite. And Brandon Ingram, who can run it up too. So that those three are nice. Very under the radar, Euro, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they didn't make the playoffs, but they were in the play-in, right?
Yeah.
No, they made
they did.
They made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
They played against the Suns.
But it was via the play-in, right?
No. Oh wait, actually.
Yeah, it was a close series.
I think
I'm not
you are
sure if it was
right.
Game 6 or Game 7.
Regardless, this was the first postseason experience for those guys, and I think they smell blood.
They were playing. You're right, Euro.
Yeah,
and
so
then
they smell blood because
I
I just remember like Bi just his face, like how he was looking, like I want this, just not knowing how to get it done. Yeah. And like with CJ, the experience and everything, because he came like late, right? Man, I don't know, man. Like I'm looking forward to them actually getting a lot better this year.
Mars hates Brandon Ingram.
Why?
When he was at Duke, I was rooting for him in a game against Kentucky, and he went like 2 for 16.
This stems deep.
So ever since then, I said I would never root for him again, and now I just actively root against him.
Nasty.
Wow, that's commitment right there.
That
you
is
went
commitment.
from I'm not rooting for him to fuck this guy.
And why did you want him to win that game?
He said, "Yep."
You had money on that game or something?
No, I was like 5 years
Can't
old.
gamble. Yeah.
But
wow.
Wait, no, that doesn't.
Wow.
I get it.
Because that was the one year I was actually watching college basketball, and for a weird reason, I was actually more of a fan of Kentucky that year because of Tyler Ulis. But I had a friend who told me that Kentucky were going to win, and I just like being against my friends. So I told him that Duke were going to win because obviously Brandon Ingram, at that point, it was him and Ben Simmons 1 and 2. I said he was going to go crazy, but me and him like bet separately, not like with like a website, but me and him put a bet down. And Brandon Ingram had like 5 points, and I lost a bet. So I blame Brandon Ingram.
You did have a bet on the game.
Do you watch?
I said money, but I meant, did you have a bet on the game though?
I had a bet on the game.
Do you watch college basketball closely, Morris?
Not unless there's a prospect I'm really interested in. I don't like actively watch it. But if there's someone who I was interested in coming out of high school, or someone who like might be on the Warriors' radar, I'll watch like college or G League or wherever they're playing, or overseas.
Yeah. Do you have somebody for this year?
I mean, I'm trying to watch Victor Wembanyama as much as I can.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
Scoot
not.
Henderson, Scoot Henderson in the G League. Trying to watch him as well, but in college, not really, because most people are playing in other like things. You got the OTE, I think it's called. That's where the Twins are playing.
Yeah, the Twins.
They're interesting, but no one in college is really at this point.
I used to watch an insane amount of college basketball. Like I'd just be scrolling through my channels trying to find a game, and when it was like the most random college teams you could think of with nobody on those teams, I'd be watching those. And now it's like I only watch March Madness.
College basketball is trash.
You think it's trash? I used to actually like
it
better
when
than
I
the
played
NBA.
college basketball.
I actually liked it better than the NBA.
I used to be like this,
basketball.
like the days before the game or whatever. When we used to do scouting shit, I would be like this. Like I don't care. I should have though. I should have because we played Villanova one year. This is my freshman year. This was crazy. This was when Kyle Lowry was playing the 4. Randy Foye, Allen Ray. They had somebody else. Their entire starting lineup went to the league. I should have paid attention. I would just leave it at that.
All right, we got a super chat from Cam Cobain. Said, Redeem Team versus Dream Team. Who wins and why?
That's in 2012, right? The Redeem Team?
Yeah, so Dwayne.
Kobe, KD.
2008.
2008. 2008.
Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Bron, Melo, Dwight. I mean, those are like the big 5. I don't remember everyone on that team. And then Dream Team, Magic, Mike, Larry, Barkley, Malone.
The Redeem Team wins.
I'm taking Redeem Team as well.
I'm also taking the Redeem Team.
Wow, no Dream Team. Ron, I know you're taking.
You better stop with that no Dream Team shit. You know exactly who I'm taking.
I know you're taking the Dream Team.
Come on, hey, that Dream Team gonna turn. Hey, it's gonna be Dream Team versus the Nightmares. I promise you. I mean, but not. It'll be a good game, no. But I'm just like, oh no, I think the Dream Team got a little too much for him.
Fair. All right, let's talk about the Suns, bro. The Phoenix Suns are in for a doomsday year, I think. It's a lot going on just off the court. And if you have been paying attention to media day stuff, DeAndre Ayton had a short little interview. At least the clip was short. I haven't watched the full interview. I don't know if there's more. I'm sure there is. But in short, when he was asked if he were... Well, first, he was asked if he had been talking to Monty Williams at all since the season ended. He said they haven't talked at all. And then at the end of the clip, the reporter said, if you were to talk to Monty, what would you tell him? And he responded saying, I could show him better than I could tell him. Now, I know what some of you probably think he's alluding to. I think he's just alluding to the fact, like, he might think that Monty Williams doesn't look at him as the player that he thinks he is. And so he's what he means by that, this is how I'm interpreting it, is that he's just going to show him with his play. He's going to come out and try and have, in whatever year, whatever season, but he's just going to prove with his play and not say anything. That's how I'm interpreting it.
What's the beef between them?
So the game that they got absolutely annihilated by the Mavs, they lost by like 30. He got benched. I think he only played like 17 minutes or something. And then I think he was chirping at Monty on the bench.
And then he refused to go back in, I think.
Mm-hmm. They got into like a little verbal argument, and he didn't play for the rest of the game, I think.
I think this is not cause enough to panic. I think, number one, this is a long season. Right, Ayton got paid. He's there now, right? And I think they're good enough to still have success. And I think success heals all wounds. You can cater to him a little bit more, in the regular season to, get him off of the nasty track that he's currently on and build chemistry off of that. Because, like I said, they've had success in the past. I don't think it's that crazy now. I think leadership plays a huge role in this now. How and who is going to hold this team together.
Well, it's got to be Chris Paul.
Right. And so if Chris Paul is an extension of the head coach, and we all know Chris Paul is a little bit dirty on and off the court when it comes to, his peers and stuff like that. So I don't know how he stands with Ayton, because if Chris Paul is the point person to kind of like hold this thing together, and Ayton is not good with Monty or with Chris Paul, it's like, you know what I mean? Then it might be a lost cause. But I wouldn't panic just yet.
So to go off of what you said about Chris Paul and him being able to handle situation, I think if anybody can do it, it's Chris Paul. I mean, let's not forget DeAndre Jordan was about to go to the Dallas Mavericks, and he had a major deal that would have been beneficial to him, but him and Blake Griffin kind of steered him away from that. So getting DeAndre Ayton back on track and getting DeAndre Ayton in the midst of the team, I mean, that's something that I'm not really worried about. I think Chris Paul is a guy who's proven that he could galvanize the troops, he could get everybody on the same page, and, that's not really something I'm worried about. You want to talk about how he's handled when we talk about people that's not a part of his team. his peers that he's going up against, now I can see here and understand that. But when it comes to the way that he's been handling with his teammates, it's not a lot of scenarios where he's ever had any issues with his teammates, and they've always speak highly of him and they always love him. So that's that.
Yeah, I disagree. I think, well, I don't disagree with that statement, but I don't disagree with what it actually says, because I think the people that have an issue with Chris Paul, they don't say anything because he's so high up in terms of, like he's the president or like whatever, Players Association guy, right?
I feel you on that. No, yeah,
CJ
I feel you.
McCollum
I feel you on that, but then now
they changed hands.
But
I
now
think
this
it's
is
CJ
just.
McCollum now.
I feel you on that, but now this is just a speculation on what you think is happening. You're saying that these players feel this way without us even knowing. So based off what I know, how he's handled situations and the teammates he's been a part of, based off what I know, I haven't seen any issues to say DeAndre Ayton has a problem with CP3.
That's not what I said. I was just saying that if he is an extension of the coach, because a lot of times, you have there's different types of leadership, right? You have players, that are just leaders on like in their own right. You know what I mean? You see the coach's vision and they implement it in their way or whatever. And so like the rest of the team, they follow the player more so than the coach, but the coach and the leader, you know what I mean? They're like this though. Then there's a guy who's basically just regurgitating what the coach is saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The coach is saying this thing, the coach can't get through to a certain player. And so now the player's like, you know what coach said, so you should do type of shit. You know what I mean? If this is the case and Aiden got an issue with Monty, he's not going to, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, why are you, Chris Paul, why are you talking to me? Tell Monty to come talk to me if he wants to talk to me. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then we have an issue.
Well,
that's all I was saying.
It could be the case, but maybe CP3 could be the
Monty
bridge. Maybe CP3 could be the bridge to bring those two together, So even Chris Paul is his own man. He's his own man. He's been his own man for years. He's a vet in the league, and he's a guy who has his own voice. So Chris Paul could be the bridge between the two.
Here's the thing. Yeah. They're going to sit down at some point. If they haven't already, they're going to sit down, they're going to hash it out, they're going to move on past it. I think it's just one of those things. It's going to get overhyped in the media. Of course, we're doing the same thing. We're going to talk about it. But in the end, they are professional basketball players. They're going to go play. They're going to go compete. I don't think that this is going to weigh too heavy on them.
Right, and that's why I said
it's a collection of things that with the Suns, obviously with the Sarver situation, DeAndre Ayton signing with the Pacers, and then the Suns matching it, and then the Monty Williams thing at the end of the season, and now carrying over into this season. But to be fair, Monty Williams says in the offseason he doesn't really talk to his players that much because they spend a long time together in the season, and he's like, they need a break from me, I need a break from them. So overreaction maybe.
And I'm gonna tell you what's an even bigger issue than this whole DeAndre Ayton thing. Because I really don't think, and even with the Sarver thing as well, that doesn't affect the players personally. DeAndre Ayton got his money. All these players are paid. They all had a good offseason or whatever they did. So as in terms of playing basketball, I don't think none of that affects them. Because even just based on last year, the year before that, the Suns were kind of a gritty type of team anyway. So I don't think they lose their grit or motivation or anything like that. I think they'll be all right. Yeah, it might affect them a little bit, but I think
I'm not
they'll
talking
pull
about
it together.
I'm not talking about all players. I'm talking about Ayton, because my only concern with him is that he's like, he will just be passive. I don't want to say passive, but absent-minded, where it's like, you know what? I got my bag now. I am here. I'm going to just do what I do, right? Try to get my numbers whenever I can and not really care about anything. And so, I hope that in the long run, right, because he's a young guy still, that, 10 years from now, whatever, or 5 years from now, he doesn't look back at it and be like, you know what, I handled this incorrectly because I should have just been all in. Buying into, not just the system, but, just the culture of everything or whatever. Clearly that took a hit. You know what I'm saying? And so if he's he's in a perfect situation where he can just take a back seat and just do whatever he's doing. It's like, yo, whatever, man, I'm getting paid. I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
There's another piece to this, the Suns, that I actually just forgot about until now. But they announced they're trading Jay Crowder.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is that to me that affects the situation way more than DeAndre Ayton, because Jay Crowder was really like a good focal point of that team. Like not
He announced
offensively,
it.
but just as a core player, defensively, being
He's
able
a
to
glue
hit
guy.
being a
he's a
glue
glue
guy,
guy, for
but a
sure.
leader too, got championship experience and things of that nature. So he was like he was a good piece to that team. So him leaving, depending on who they get back, that might affect their team more than anything else.
Yeah, having him and Bridges on the floor at the same time defensively is great. So, and, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting.
You know, winning championships, man, it all boils down to your role players as well, and that's really an underestimated aspect of basketball. People love the names like a Stephen Curry and everything, but not a lot of guys like your role players get a lot of love for that. And Jay Crowder, the part of the reason why we struggled with Miami Heat, we went to the finals with the Jay Crowder, and then afterwards we kind of struggled. We lost the absence. There was an absence of a versatile defender who could also hit a 3-point shot, and that's something that we really needed for our team. The next year we got a PJ Tucker, and we seen the jump that we had. Sometimes a role player, even though that through the global scale, they're not really like a top 10, top 15 player in the league, but they can have a tremendous impact on your team in the way they perform.
And Jay Crowder is one of the best role players in the NBA. Every team that he goes to, they're in the playoffs, and he's always making an impact wherever he goes. So it's not like he's a slouch.
How many finals has Jay Crowder been to? He's been to like 3. Yeah, he played with Cleveland, then he played with Miami. Played that big year in Miami when they went to the finals. He played a crucial role in that team. Phoenix, he played a crucial role on this team last year. But then also, remember them Boston teams where they had Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas. Who else was on that team? They had some other people too. He was a crucial guy on that team as well and helping them. Yeah, they didn't go to the finals, but they made a couple big playoff runs.
Yeah, I don't know if I am super convinced when it comes to Crowder.
We know you're only the 3 and D guy that never makes a 3.
Yeah, no, I mean this is just circumstantial. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that he can't shoot.
Right.
I was just saying, like, you know what I mean? It was just like a freak fact that I have never, like, when I'm watching live games or whatever and Jay Crowder's playing, I've never seen him make a 3 up until I put that out in the universe, and then he went off for like 6 for 6 that next game or some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like up until that point, I've never. But that doesn't mean that he's not nice or not this, not that, or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I think the way that Ron is talking is generally the perception of him, and I think he's given too much responsibility, or teams are relying too much on him to, you know what I mean, and his role to be a
impact the team.
Yeah, like I think.
But he's very impactful. A guy like that is so impactful.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like, do you rely on, like, do you have to have that production from him?
I think so.
It's
right, and so I don't think is he consistent enough to just call on that every single time.
Maybe not from the 3
It's
ball.
not about calling plays.
Defensive side,
yeah,
for sure.
Defense, rebound, and even this goes under the radar. Intimidation as well. And I'm talking about Jay Crowder and PJ Tucker specifically. What they bring at that 4, being somebody that can stretch the floor on the 4, but at the 4, but still guard other 4s.
Right.
And
PJ Tucker. Like, who'd you rather have, PJ Tucker or Jay Crowder?
You'd rather have PJ Tucker probably.
And so
but
my question now is, do you think teams rely on, like, you know, just the perception and, like, you know, the role that each of those guys play with their respective teams? Do you think Jay Crowder has a bigger role or PJ Tucker?
I think it's one and the same. I think it's one and the same, and I think it's very important for the team. But this is why you have.
There has to do almost the same thing.
Right.
Do their
I think
job
it's minimal. I think there's a minimal difference, but I think teams are relying on Jay Crowder more than they are PJ Tucker.
Go ahead, Dub.
I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Go ahead, Dub.
I get what you're saying too, but I mean, they asked them to do the role, and it's their job to fulfill that role. It's provide defense and provide spacing. It's on the other guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Jimmy Butler to perform to the superstar aspirations that we hold them to. And if they don't do their job, the reason why they lost in the playoffs was because of the struggles of Devin Booker and the CP3, not because of a Jay Crowder.
And Amy Parker, PJ Tucker, I think, is 37, and Jay Crowder is 32. So I mean, yes. Age, you could also look at age, but like PJ Tucker's in really good shape. Like his game isn't so reliant on for sure his physical ability, which I don't think is diminished. But he's not like saving energy for the offensive side of the floor. So when you look at a PJ Tucker, I don't know that his age is so much of a factor. And like in today's day and age too, like we're going to start seeing a lot of players play late into their 30s. So, but Gerald, you have anything to say about this?
No, I was just going to say that I think there is like a clear difference between PJ and Jay Crowder, only for the fact that Jay Crowder isn't asked to do the same defensive responsibilities as a PJ Tucker to me, because Mikal Bridges is usually the guy that's guarding an opposing team's best player, while as PJ Tucker is the guy who's usually guarding a team's best perimeter player. So I do ultimately like they do the same job per se, but I do think PJ Tucker is known for doing that job at a higher level. And I mean, also, then in 1 year he led the league in corner threes. Hasn't he done that like twice? Actually,
PJ Tucker, I think something along those lines. But to your point, Jay Crowder would be asked to guard the best player if they didn't have another elite defender like that. So you know,
Jay Crowder
it's just a
LeBron.
circumstance.
He guarded Giannis.
No, I don't think it's circumstance for sure, but.
And I would prefer that.
But that's
to
my
have
point.
two
Right. But that's my point, though, right?
But,
so, like, you having to rely on PJ Tucker, like, he doesn't have to shoulder that much responsibility as to, you know what I mean?
Point.
Yeah, so that's all I was saying. I'm not trying to take anything away from Crowder.
Facts.
Yeah, but they are one and the same. Like, they're the same type of player, for sure.
Hear you. Jamar's Hall, my bad. Do Kobe and Chris Paul get a ring together, if y'all think so, against what team and what year, if history goes as is for the teams on the East?
I mean, we can go off of the year.
Kobe tears his Achilles as well, or does he stay healthy?
Was
If
that
CP3
that
goes
year?
there, he doesn't tear his Achilles.
No, he got hurt the year after, I believe. It was 2013. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
so
I thought it was
trading-
it was the same year because
It might have been the
Steve,
same year, yeah. 'cause it was
Steve Nash was
2012
supposed to.
trade.
Yeah, Steve Nash went there, and that was the year that CP3 was going to go there, and that was the year where he tore his Achilles. I think if CP3 goes there, he doesn't tear his Achilles because
So
he's
do
not
I.
going to be trying so hard to push his team
Get
to
them
the
to the
playoffs.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
That's such a-
It's a domino effect. You haven't seen the
he
butterfly
doesn't have to end the season playing
Butterfly
40 minutes a
effect.
game the whole time, just trying to be an 8 seed.
I think they would have
made
been a
the
crazy
playoffs.
tandem.
Yeah,
I still don't think they
agree.
won the title, but
I think Kobe would have been the clear leader. I think CP3 would have clearly bowed to him, and he would have been a Derek Fisher type to Kobe in terms of the dynamic. But CP3 obviously bringing what CP3 is bringing to the plate. I think that would have been dangerous, them two together, for sure.
But I think their leadership
I
styles
don't think-
are
I
the
don't
same
think they
too,
can
though.
beat-
And
I
I
don't
think
think
that
they
would have
can
also
beat
worked
that
out
Miami
in the
team.
locker room.
I think
Button heads.
honestly, Mars. I think they had definitely a good chance of being that Miami team. That was 2012, right?
2012-13.
2012-13. That was the first year they won.
That was the first year Chris Paul would have been there.
No, I'm talking about Miami.
Sure, it wasn't the year before
Oh.
that.
That was the first year they won, right? 2012?
The first year they won was 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that team definitely could have competed. I'm assuming that Paul Gasol would still be there, and Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant with some other defensive guys. I mean, listen, it will just come down to really Kobe versus LeBron, and that's really one of the finals that we were robbed of due to injury, bro. And it's really sad to see. It's a shame that David Stern had to veto that trade because we really were robbed of seeing that in the finals. Could have gone either way, in my opinion.
Chris Paul was traded in 2011, so I was a year off. My fault.
Jamar's Hit Hall also sent a follow-up super chat. Said, love the show. Been a fan for the last 6 months. Fire. Thank you for tuning in. My next question is, do y'all think Devin Booker is better than PG, Butler, Ja, or Trae Young?
No, yes, no.
PG, Butler,
No,
Ja.
yes.
Him and PG's kind of close for me though, but
No, yes, no.
Devin Booker, Paul George.
Devin Booker, Paul George.
I'm taking
Who else
D
is
Book over
there? Trae
PG.
Young.
I don't mind D-Book over PG. That's interchangeable for me.
I think D Book's just a bit more of a killer than PG. And on top of that, I gotta go to recency bias too. D Book has been to the finals, and on that finals run, On that finals run, you
Wait,
can laugh
wait,
if you
wait,
want to,
bro.
Mars, because during that whole finals run, D Book was killing every stop of the way. I think he had the most points for a player ever in his first playoffs. So don't do that.
I
Like
mean,
I'm
you
saying,
have-
okay,
Paul George,
stop.
Paul George
Stop.
may have a bigger bag.
Stop.
Paul George may stop what?
For the first time in his playoffs ever, like, you know what I mean? Like, what does that even mean? Because he can be a grown ass man as opposed to being a rookie. Like, you know what I mean?
Now he for sure was older than your normal person.
So
when they
he's
go to the
already
playoffs.
seasoned. So he's closer than his prime. It's like, what do you
Okay.
expect from a player first time playoff? You know what I mean? Like that. To me,
was funny.
what you're saying is it's low key. Like, I don't want
No,
to say an
I'm
insult,
saying
but
that
it's
he
not.
was
It's taken
cooking.
away.
I'm saying he was cooking. That's the point I'm
I
getting
mean,
at.
if you're talking about recency bias, the last 2 games we've seen from Devin Booker was ass. I mean, the last postseason he had was ass against the Mavericks. So, I mean, talking about recency bias, I mean, I could understand you want to pick Devin Booker over PG, but not for a reason like recency bias, because most recently we see Devin Booker wet the bed. Like,
Devin Booker
completely.
also wasn't great in that conference finals where he beat PG with no Kawhi. But I
And
digress.
PG was cooking. PG was cooking, bro. To sit here and say that he's
Mhm.
more of a killer
Facts.
because of that, I mean, I just don't agree, bro. I mean,
Didn't that
think
series
he's-
go
I
to
think he's a
6
bit
games
more
on
of
the
a
back
killer.
of
It
Paul
went, it
George?
went 6 games and
On Paul
they
George's
won
back.
one of the games on a game winner, which was
Oh.
tough for the Clippers. But it was a close series with no Kawhi.
yeah, I think the offensive side of things, maybe Devin Booker is better offensively, but the defense that PG provides, bro, is where I would just have to side more with PG as building
agree.
as the main guy for my team. You know, I mean, PG with Chris Paul, bro. I mean, shit, I think the same thing possibly happens.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Devin Booker
think
with
Paul-
Kawhi is damn near even a little better.
I think Paul George
Oh.
is a bit better playmaker though
Paul-
than Devin Booker, and I think that works better in favor with Kawhi Leonard than Devin Booker.
Paul's
would.
tough. Like he's bigger. I even do think he got a bigger bag too. But it's something about D Book. D Book don't be playing when he gets on the floor. He's straight to the point. He
Remind
just
you of Kobe.
he just a killer.
Straight to a 2 for 14.
All right,
Okay, so check this out because I can do this with Paul George all day. Don't make me go back to the OKC series against because I don't want to do this because PG really my guy. But don't make me go back to the OKC series when he
That
did
was
what he
4
did
years ago.
and was let it. Okay, that's even more to my point. He got a long career of what has he really done?
Got to do with
What
current day?
Current day. I told you current day. I'm taking Devin Booker, but I'm saying Paul George has been a
As what
great
though?
player
As
for
the
a
number
long.
one option?
That's a good question.
I don't want either one of them.
If I need a shooting guard, I want Devin Booker. But as a number one option, it's kind of up in the air. I'll still probably take PG or I'll still probably take Book as a number 2. Yeah,
As a number
I'm still
two,
taking D
for
Book.
sure,
As
you
a
have
number-
to take PG.
Nah, because here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you why. I think Devin Booker's a better catch and shoot guy. I think Devin Booker's a better guy where if I got somebody like Chris Paul, for instance, who's running the show, you skip it to D Book. It's either catch and shoot or one dribble pull up. Paul George, he does a little too. Paul George has to have
The
the ball in his
difference-
hands and be
Paul
doing all
George
that.
is a
damn
The
better
work.
difference,
shooter.
but here's the
Paul
thing:
George
the
is a better
difference in
shooter
offensive
than
output that
Devin
Devin Booker is better is not greater than on the defensive side of things, where PG is miles ahead of D Book.
Yeah, bro.
So when we're talking about the complete game, right?
And let's
Offensive
not-
side and defensive side, PG clears.
And let's not forget, I mean, Paul George had his best year with Russell Westbrook, so he could play. He could play
I
off
think-
the ball.
And I think it's ridiculous to say that Devin Booker is a better catch and shoot guy than Paul George.
I mean, you can say that if you
close.
want, but it's
No,
not
it's
going to be
not close.
crazy. Like it's not going to be
it's
like
close.
PG is a clearly better 3-point shooter.
you're
than
going to be
Devin
very
Booker.
comfortable passing it to PG. Like it's not going to be like,
No,
oh
with-
shit, I
without
hope
a
he makes
doubt.
the
I'm-
shot.
I ain't say he was miles ahead of him.
So that's what I'm
he's
saying.
better-
So
he's
like
better.
you have to, especially when we're talking about those guys being the second option. You can live with the first option if the first option is really a dog like that. You can live with him and his shortcomings on the defensive end or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But for your second guy, they have to be a more complete player than the first guy, even if they're not better than whatever the first guy main responsibility is. And so PG is he's one of the most well-rounded players that we have.
Most definitely. I'm just saying. It's been a lot of times where I've seen PG come up short when I think he should have did more with how good he is too. It's been plenty of games, even a couple years ago in the playoffs with the Clippers. It's been plenty of times where it's like, Paul George, you the dude. We need you to step up. Where are you at? And he just doesn't quite get it done. I'm asking when because I'm telling you, you guys are because when we do these debates, it makes it seem like you hate a dude. And I'm really, bro, I'm a Clippers fan this year. I fuck with Paul George. But the point I'm trying to make is now when you get to guys like this, you have to nitpick. And I'm like, PG, you've had a long enough career for us to really see who you may be.
But when we're talking about coming up short, did you basically implying that Booker didn't come up short? Number one. Number two, why are we looking at when we're talking about, PG being the number 2 guy, why is he the guy to, be put in a position to make something happen then?
I just think as a number 2 guy, with like I said earlier, a number 2 guy, I would rather my number 2 be a guy that can score in 2 to 3 dribbles than a guy that has to come off pick and rolls and dribble.
PG can score off 2 or 3 dribbles, bro.
He can, but he doesn't. I'm not saying he can't. PG can catch and shoot. I'm not saying he can't. I even said that Paul George's bag is a little bigger than Devin's. But that's even more to my point. I don't want a guy that's going to be out there having to dribble a bunch of times. And this is Paul George's game.
But he don't have to do that either.
He doesn't have to, but he does.
Because he has to.
No, he doesn't have to, but he does. James Harden doesn't have to dribble. It doesn't have to go through the legs and behind the back 5 times before he shoots a step back 3. But he does it. That's what I'm saying. Off the ball, I would rather a guy that's going to be more simple. Yeah, I'm just going to catch and shoot, or I'm going to take 2 dribbles and pull up. Or just do a straight line drive to the hoop. Paul George does a whole bunch of moves behind the back, spin move, step back, which it looks good.
That just sounds like system now.
It is the system. That's exactly what I was about to say.
So
let me tell you.
Paul George's system on the Clippers is to dribble 8 times.
No. What I'm saying is like the system allows him to do that stuff or whatever. If he's
Devin
like one
Booker
of the
can't do that if he doesn't want to.
Nasty work, man.
He could, but the same way PG could do what Devin Booker is doing if he wanted to.
It's not systems, it's game. It's your style of play. James Harden doesn't have to do all of that. He chooses to do that. James Harden did
because
he
can do that, but here's the thing: he wouldn't be able to do that with the Golden State Warriors.
Man, Steph does it. So why wouldn't James do it?
No.
Steph does it. Why wouldn't James do it?
No,
they're
Steph,
in that same caliber
Steph
of player.
does that. You are missing. No, bro.
They're in that same caliber of player. James Harden.
We're not talking about caliber of players. Steph does not primarily take the ball, be at top of the key, dribble out his ass, and then take a step back 3. He primarily does not do that. To the level of James Harden. Now, mind you, we talk about to the level of James Harden. But we're comparing them to now, though.
Not to the level of James Harden, for sure.
Okay, so argument done then, because that's what you just argued, and now you retracted.
But James will still do that for the Warriors, though. He will still do that. He might not do it as much, but he'll still do that.
And you think the Warriors will be successful with James Harden doing that?
I don't think nobody would be successful with James Harden doing that bullshit, but he does it. And that's the point I'm trying to make. A player that's going to do a whole bunch extra, I would rather a player that's a little more simple. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, that moves you guys when a dude can go behind the back, crossover, and step back.
Didn't you say Manu Ginobili was better than Klay Thompson?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Why is that?
Why did we just get here? Why did we just get here?
Because he can do more.
That's a good point.
But I mean, you're saying
I'm not saying he can dribble more.
But you're saying you'd rather have a guy to fulfill a role without doing all that extra shit. I mean, if we're gonna be like, all right, Klay Thompson don't do no extra shit, he catches and shoot. Why wouldn't you side with Manu? Why wouldn't you side with Klay Thompson over Manu Ginobili? Because you don't like the extra shit.
Manu doesn't do extra shit.
I'm talking about scoring. I would rather a guy score in 2 dribbles than have a guy that has to score in 6 dribbles. Not
so you prefer Klay to Kyrie.
Gonna say he has to.
So you prefer Klay to Kyrie.
Ron's getting caught up. This is a nuanced argument. Yo, Bro,
one's
no.
tough. It depends on the team.
Ron.
It depends on the team. On the
Ron.
Warriors,
I
yes.
got you. That was a nasty context, Ben, because obviously this is a nuanced conversation. You can't just do that. Like, these guys play
Jay,
different
let it
roles.
go,
Like,
bro.
that
I
is
thought you was
crazy,
in
bro.
there. I thought
I
you was
am,
in there.
but I can't. Ron is drowning right now, bro. I have to be the lifeguard. I have to be the lifeguard, bro. I gotta pull you out. I gotta resuscitate you, bro. This is crazy. Let's move on though. Go ahead and get your last piece off, Ron. I'll let you finish.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it depends on the team. Like with Paul George and PG, we're talking about 1 and 2s. So now I'm gonna bring that same thing over here. If I need a guy to be my 1, Kyrie all day. But if I need a guy to be my 2, I will want Klay Thompson. And it's as simple as that.
All right, let's switch gears here. I forgot to mention this at the top of the show, but we got someone tweeted at us and said, Player's Choice or Through the Wire podcast, #NBA, #NBA Twitter. And I wanted to mention, bro, open invite to any of the guys on Through the Wire, man. We like what you guys are doing over there. They're obviously leaders in this, YouTube, NBA content stuff. They do great things. I haven't actually watched a show. I've watched clips and whatnot, but from what I see, man, those guys are killing it. They're great entertainers. They know what they're talking about. Would love to get any of them on the show anytime. I know Pee Wee's been on. He was on the J Will show, but we want to get him on Player's Choice, man. We got to get some of these guys on Player's Choice. So we'll try and set something up in the near future. If you guys want to see Through the Wire on Player's Choice, make sure you let us know in the comments. Also, can you hit that like
who are the
button?
other guys? Who are the other guys that tried they had like the tier list where they wanted to fight everybody?
Let's give it a buck. Yeah. So
I'll fuck with those guys too.
I love those guys. They're hilarious. So Damo was on the show for like 10 minutes. We wanted to get him back. We just haven't been able to coordinate that. But they have kind of switched gears into like not just NBA stuff. Like they're doing like everything. They're hitting on all topics and they're actually crushing it too, which is admirable for them to start as kind of a sports or NBA show and then be able to pivot into what they're doing and still keep growing, and like that's dope, man. So we appreciate those guys. Through the Wire, let's keep it a buck, man. Open invite to any of you guys anytime you want to come on. We'll try and coordinate that sometime soon. All right, super chats. Jamal Williams, little MCU here. Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU now.
Yeah.
Jackman is back.
What do you guys think about that?
It's been a long time coming, brother. I'm here for it. I
like
here
it.
for it.
I like it.
I just hope they don't. I'm just nervous, Like some of the latest stuff I've been seeing from the MCU, I've not been feeling too heavy on, so I'm just a little nervous. I'm just hoping. I don't want to see Wolverine breaking out to no song and dance. I don't want to see Wolverine doing some, like I don't want to see that.
They're gonna get it right. They're gonna get it right.
I don't want to see that, bro.
The thing is, for me, I think what your concern is the same concern that I have. Like the multiverse topic is so like extravagant that you have too many areas where you can fuck it up at. You know what I mean? It's like a minefield you're trying to navigate. And so I don't necessarily see the Deadpool and Wolverine situation as a multiverse thing. And so because the multiverse is now out of the mix, they can just focus back on what they are good at, which is making dope movies and like bringing big time characters together. So I'm excited for this. I have high hopes.
Bro, Deadpool is the best.
And honestly,
I feel the same way.
Those movies.
Honestly, J-Rob, I'm not really too worried. I mean, Deadpool and the movies that they come out with is actually amazing. It's hilarious. And I think we have to understand that they've been getting a lot of hate for the direction where they've been taking these Marvel films. And this is what happens. You're on a crazy run. You've been doing something that's been catching everybody's attention, everybody's loving, and sometimes you just go overboard with it. And that's maybe what Marvel has been doing now. And now, after all the criticism, all the hate that they've been probably getting, they're probably going to reset backwards and like, you know what, let's refocus on what really made us unique, what made us such a high-powered organization, the movies that we put out. And I think for the movies and the shows to come out from here on out should be more improvements. If not, then people got to get fired up in Marvel because it's not really good, and you need to improve on that.
I wouldn't necessarily say to use the word like hate though. I think honestly, like the fan base, we just have a certain standard. Like you got to really think like they changed the superhero theatrical game, and so like the standard that us as a fan base have now, it's high. So I think honestly, when the fans like tell you, I think especially in this case, like if the fans tell you that like we're not happy with something, I don't think they have like to look at it as hate because, bro, we've been watching these movies since Blade, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been around forever, so I mean, your fan base been loyal to you. We just expect a certain degree of quality from you. That's all.
And the fans ain't asking for too much. All they want is the superheroes to act and be superheroes, and they've just been too much on the comedy aspect, and they need to chill with that.
Exactly.
All right, back to Hoop. Leaf Diggy with the super chat. I'll never acknowledge the NIT bubble tourney.
I agree.
Bramento, hop on the Luka agenda before it's too late. He's the MVP, and he is top 2 in the league. Yes, he's better than Jokic as well. Hey, Bramento, I'm here with you, bro. I'm right there. I'm locked in with that.
Embiid.
Luka Doncic definitely winning it this year. Football breakdown. PG pushed that great team to the brink. Left an LOL at the end for you. Assists, excluding 2011, if you replace Bron with MJ, do you think any of the teams win a finals that they lost?
2011. I mean, that's the easiest one.
He said excluding.
He said excluding.
2011. Oh, excluding 2015. I think they possibly have a better chance.
I think they for sure won in 2015. I think Jordan's like, yo, Steph, not yet. You're not ready yet.
Oh, I used the wrong year. No, not 2015. 2014. I meant to say.
Yeah,
that's the last Miami year. That's the one I'm talking about.
Miami. The last Miami year.
Oh no, I'm talking about 2015. Steph's first one.
How do you expect MJ to overcome that, bro?
Stop it.
Overcome what?
Stop it, Ron.
Losing Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving.
Stop it, Ron.
How do you expect that?
Who's to say Kyrie gets hurt if MJ's there?
Oh, this is what we're doing.
Butterfly effect, dude. Butterfly effect.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
MJ's leadership.
Hey, Mars, you got me. You got me, Mars.
He's not allowed
not using the same circumstances. Jesus.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious. All right. Jamars Hill. I should have added more context to CP3 SC, but what do y'all think is the biggest what if in basketball history? I mean, we all agree it's Brandon Roy, right?
What does he mean by SC?
Super chat.
Oh.
A little shorthand.
What if player or like any like situation?
What do y'all think is the biggest what ifs in basketball history? I mean, he kind of left it open ended, so you could go with team, you could go with player.
What if KD never went to the Warriors? I mean, I say it all the time. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers could have two-peated. I think they had a strong possibility after two-peating. Kyrie Irving doesn't leave, and they have a good possibility of three-peating. And if LeBron James ever three-peated in his career, I think that whole LeBron James being the GOAT, I think a lot more people will be in LeBron's favor. He has a good case already, but I'm talking about more of the masses will actually be on board with LeBron James being the GOAT after two-peating and possibly three-peating if Kevin Durant never goes to the Golden State Warriors.
What if Michael Jordan didn't play on the Bulls?
What if Scottie Pippen didn't get drafted by the Bulls?
I don't know. My what ifs are typically around injuries. Like, what if Brandon Roy? What if Greg Oden? What if Grant Hill?
Brandon Roy's the biggest one for me, bro. Like, where would he have ended up in his career? Like, man,
Derrick
so
Rose.
tough. D Rose. Yeah, I mean, I think Brandon Roy would have cleared. I think he still clears him. But like,
have you seen these clips about Lonzo Ball and his knee?
Yes,
he can't even walk.
I really hope I don't think. You know, I've had teammates in college who've had like that degenerative knee where like the arthritis in their knee, they just can't. It's just over. Like
overcome it, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work out anymore, and it's kind of like this. It was like the same thing as he like explained it, and I'm like, I really hope he does not have like a degenerative knee because that'll be awful.
Wait, Lonzo has arthritis in his knee.
I mean, that's what it. I mean, they haven't explained what it is, but that's what it sounds like.
So he's getting surgery
like
in it.
Pain.
He said something about he can't like have his legs at a certain angle, like squatting down or something like that, or like moving side to side or something, and like it's just pain. Like he has no power, and so he's getting surgery. I think he's out for the year. I don't know, but
they're expecting him. Like they said, they wouldn't be. I guess the coach is expecting the team not to have him this year, just in case.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
bro, it is sad.
It is really sad, actually.
I wanted to watch a fully healthy Bulls team, man. They missed out on him last season, and they were looking nice with that DeMar, Lonzo, Levine, even
Caruso,
even what's the big? Why am I
Vucevic.
Vucevic.
Man, now they're looking like I don't know. That's a big hit.
They'll still be good. They'll still be good. You know, my brother actually had arthritis in his knee and a torn meniscus that's been reoccurring, and you know, it's something really hard to deal with. And I hope Lonzo Ball, you know, overcomes that. I hope everything goes well. It's not as worse as everything says, but for Lonzo Ball, you know, just take care of yourself. You got to do what's best for you and your health. And you know, if basketball isn't the way to go, bro, you know, you just got to do what you got to do, man. I know it's a sport you love, but you got to take care of your body, and you don't want to mess up your knees at such a young age.
Knees and backs. Those are the biggest in hoops. Like, man, scary times. Oops, I already did that one. Mike Will. Devin Booker's a killer. Best shooting guard in the league. Indoor voices. You guys are nasty. PG clears. D Book. K-Dog.
Wait, hold up right quick, JD, because I'm about to get back in my bag.
You don't want to go back in there.
You really
don't want to go back in there, bro.
No. Because look, now that I'm thinking about it, Devin Booker is better than Paul George. He is. And Devin Booker, no. Now that I'm thinking, and because look, numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie. Paul George had one season where he was an exceptional scorer at 28. The rest of his seasons, Paul George never averaged more than 24 points, including last year as the focal point and the number one option. Devin Booker then averaged over 26 for 3 or 4 years. So I'm like, what are we talking about? Paul George has always been the feature guy on his team. Always. Paul George has always had the ball in his hands. So I'm like, yeah, you can say defense. We can run the defense. Okay. But Devin Booker is a better scorer than Paul George.
Nobody's disputing that, though.
Okay, then. So when I say, oh, I'd rather have Devin Booker as my number one option, y'all don't go crazy.
It's because of the defense that he provides as well. On top of scoring.
That's cool. But then also, too, on top of that, Paul George on offense, I'm telling you, he has his deficiency. He's a turnover machine. He averaged 4 turnovers last year. Year before that, he averaged 3. And it's not the first time he's done that in his career. So I'm like, bro, when it comes down to, you know, really being the guy on the team, I've seen Paul George come up short too many times. And that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, we're moving on. K-Dog said, what if Len Bias didn't overdose? Yeah, we were robbed of Len Bias for sure. Van Giovanni, DJ Khaled. What if KD joined Houston instead of Golden State? What, with James Harden, CP3?
No, CP3 wasn't there. It was just going to be James Harden and KD. I don't know if they win. Just going to be honest.
Or Russ?
No, Russ wasn't there. It was Pat Beverly. It was Pat Beverly there in that year, and then in 2018 is when they got CP3. I'm not sure if that team wins the title. Maybe if CP3 goes there too, but yeah, I don't know how.
Mike D'Antoni with James Harden and KD would be crazy.
It would be amazing to see.
Offensive juggernaut.
All right, we have a full-on segment super chat here, so let's get to this. Drink more water. Who wins these brother 2 versus 2s? Pau and Marc Gasol versus Brook and Robin Lopez. Steph and Seth Curry versus Giannis and Thanasis Antetokounmpo. And Drew and Justin Holiday versus Lonzo and LaMelo Ball. All right, Dub, let's start with you. Let's just go.
Can you put it up on the screen for me again?
I'm gonna tell them to you. And then we're gonna go each individual for each one. So we're starting with you, Dub. Pau and Marc Gasol versus Brook and Robin Lopez.
Paul and Marc Gasol.
Ron.
I think this should be a clear sweep. Spanish brothers.
J-Rob.
Pau and Marc Gasol.
Mars.
Gasol.
Like, this isn't even a game.
You're muted, bro.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I muted you when you took off.
The Gasols, of course.
All right, Dub. Steph and Seth Curry versus Giannis and Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Steph and Seth.
Ron.
If we're shit, I don't know, because 2-on-2 they could just get to shooting a whole bunch of crazy ass threes and stuff. But
yeah, but Giannis and Thanasis are way bigger than them.
Nah, I'm going with Giannis and Thanasis.
J-Rob.
Yeah, I'm going Giannis and Thanasis too.
Mars,
Giannis.
Euro.
I'm going with the Niger boys.
Man, it's whoever gets the ball. I'm just gonna be real with you. If Steph Curry and his
No,
brother
it's
get the
not,
ball, bro.
bro.
Yes, bro. Steph
So
is
you're
going
telling
to
me,
be torching Giannis, bro.
you told me Giannis
No,
and Thanasis couldn't
Thanasis
get one
will go-
possession, bro.
Thanasis
Even
will
if it
go
was
with
make
Steph.
it, take it, they couldn't get one possession, bro.
I
You know
don't
what?
think that they'll be able to stop them.
A
At all.
2v2 when you're just outsized like that, and not just outsized, but that athleticism is insane.
Yo, but keep in mind though, the way that the Curry brothers shoot the ball, it kind of levels the playing field. I
For sure.
don't care how big they are, because it's like, bro,
Fact.
when Steph get to
Yeah.
doing that, it's gonna get crazy. But then also keep in mind too, there's no help defense because they can't help off Seth or Steph.
Right,
So
right.
when he got him on an island, Steph's also getting layups too. He's not just shooting threes. Steph's
Yeah.
gonna be going around him like it's nothing and getting layups.
That's for
So I
sure.
would
That's for sure the
Them boys is
toughest
losing.
2v2 to decide, because this last one, Drew and Justin Holiday versus Alonzo and LaMelo Ball, feel like a clean sweep is coming. So let's start. Dub.
Drew and Justin Holiday versus Lonzo and LaMelo.
Yep.
Drew and Justin.
Oh, never mind. Okay, Ron.
I'm going Drew and Justin too because they play defense. They gonna strap up.
J-Rob.
And I'm picking the Ball brothers, man. Are we kidding? Are we serious?
That's what I'm thinking.
Are we
Man,
serious
Drew gonna
here?
get to take
Justin
the ball from
Holiday.
LaMelo.
Justin
Drew,
Holiday.
hey, Drew.
If we're gonna match it up, best player and then the second brother. Are you kidding me? Are we serious, bro? I'm like,
Mars?
Here's the thing though, Lonzo not gonna cook Justin like that.
is Justin gonna cook Lonzo?
No,
Lonzo's
he
a
don't
way
need to.
better
He don't
defender
need to
than
because
Justin.
Drew bullying either of them.
Let's not act
It's like Justin,
Lonzo
just spot
is
up in the
a
corner.
elite- is
I'm
not a great defender.
yeah, but
I don't know, bro.
Mars.
I think they should have threw Aaron Holiday and LiAngelo Ball in here to make it more interesting.
Word.
But
Facts.
a 3-on-3 would have been more fun. But I'd go Lonzo and LaMelo.
Euro.
This is harder for me. I think.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought this was gonna be easy.
Nah, I kind of
What
want to
kind of
go
stuff?
with the holidays, to be honest.
What? Okay.
Yeah. I might
Fair.
be tripping. But I just don't.
I
see
might
it.
be tripping, thinking it was gonna be a sweep.
I think it's close. But
Yo, can
I
we-
like Lonzo guarding Drew Holiday.
Speaking of the Ball brothers, can we talk about the Hornets signing a non-guaranteed deal with LiAngelo?
Fire. LeVar told y'all.
Bro,
Good
it's
job.
just so annoying at this
That
point.
boy's
Bro,
a
like, come
prophet.
on.
That man is a
What are we
prophet,
doing?
bro? He
What
told
are we
y'all.
doing though?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
Come
he
on,
told
bro.
y'all. He done told y'all what he was gonna do. Y'all laughed at him. You said he couldn't do it, and he told you so, man.
But
told
they've
you
done
so.
this
Shout out
in
to
the
LeVar,
past.
man, for sure.
Shout out to LeVar.
He didn't.
man.
He
He
didn't.
signed
has
with
the
the
blueprint.
Pistons like a year or two ago.
That's
and
the
then he-
Pistons.
Come on,
Yo,
bro.
at
And he's a
LeVar,
year or
at the
two
end-
better.
at the
didn't
end
he
of the
just sign
day-
a G League deal though? He hasn't really played in the league like that. And he
He
hasn't
hasn't played in the
actually
league.
been given a shot like that.
But this
either.
is my thing.
Right.
Every
And
time
so
you
like
ever look
they
at
have a
G League,
direct
he
G
come
League
in and light it
affiliate
up,
though,
bro.
right? He can play for is it the Swarm or something like that?
yeah,
No, the
but
Swarm is-
he played for him
Yeah,
last
No, he
year.
played
Swarm.
for the Swarm. That's what they call it.
He played for the Swarm last year.
Bro, here's what I'm gonna say. I think it's dope that all three of them are professional basketball players in the league as of right now. But you're telling me there's no one better than LiAngelo
What do
Ball.
you?
I mean, you gotta look.
Thanasis has a contract on the Bucks, and everyone
Come
knows
on,
he's
thank
not.
you.
Like he's a solid player, but he's
Hold on,
there
fellas.
because of Giannis. Like nepotism's real. Like we accept that. Like
Facts,
Angelo, if he
facts.
gets a chance, it's because of that.
Right.
But I'm still
Nasty.
like good for him.
I mean, what
Yeah, because I don't think Thanasis is a NBA player.
I don't watch Eurobasket, but I don't know if he starts for Greece. So
Well, I mean, he played for the year that he signed with the Bucks. He played for Pana, and I mean, he wasn't their best player, not by a long shot,
like he's
not
there
by a
because
long
of-
shot.
He's there because of Giannis. Like LiAngelo could be a similar situation, but at least LiAngelo can space the floor. He provides value in that way, and he tries on defense. So
Yeah, and
Everyone
that's why-
tries
and-
on defense.
but he goes above and beyond. Like that's his whole identity. And so, like, as long as he's doing that, like, there's always going to be a quote unquote excuse for him to sign him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what? Like, at the very least, we know what we'll get from him. And so, 2 or 3 minutes, in a certain really specific situation, let's sick him on whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
You
it's
talking
just
about
what it is.
LiAngelo or Thanasis?
Thanasis.
I'm talking about LiAngelo.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I think they both.
Thanasis too, though. Thanasis too. He does play defense.
Yeah. Both of them as a specialty type of player is cool. You always need your certain players that play a specific role. So LiAngelo to space the floor. Let's say it's a situation where we're down, 5 points and we need to hit a 3 right now before we foul them on the other end. You're obviously going to put in LiAngelo, who's one of your better shooters. Also too, like Thanasis, like how you were saying, a guy to come off the bench, play defense, get some rebounds for a couple minutes while you waiting for your players to get, back rested up. Those are the type of guys that you need on your bench.
And do we know what he's getting paid?
It's a non-guaranteed deal, so it's got to be
Because
some sort of minimum.
when I'm talking about Thanasis at this point, though.
It's also got to be a minimum.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you might get the best bang for your buck out of any player in the NBA right now, regardless of how good or bad or how much money you have to spend. Like, just the return on investment might be through the roof with, like, he might be, top 5 player in the league when it comes to that.
And he's not going to be demanding anything either.
1.8.
You see what I'm saying?
1.8 million guaranteed.
So
LiAngelo?
Thanasis.
Oh, okay.
So I have something to say to this. Everyone's saying like LeVar told you so and everything. I mean, I love the fact that his kids are all in the league. I do love that. I love LeVar Ball. But don't say LeVar told you so. LeVar told us that Lonzo Ball was going to be better than Stephen Curry. He told us that LiAngelo Ball was going to be a premier player in the league. He told us a lot of things that didn't happen. Don't say LeVar told you so when a bunch of the things that he said did not happen.
None of
Now,
them. They
Hey,
could
getting
still
all
happen.
3 of them to the league, though,
Getting
is
all of-
very impressive.
Getting all 3
Very
of them in
impressive.
the league. I love the fact that they are all in the league. I love that. I love that for his family and everything. But LeVar did not tell us so. LeVar did not tell us that his
Bro,
kid was
clearly-
gonna be on a minimum contract and being in and out of the league. He did not know that.
Clearly, he was trolling or
Of
like
course.
like exaggerating his promotion
Headlines,
of
bro.
his sons.
Headlines.
Like,
And
come on,
also
Dub, you know
for the Big Baller brand. He was
It
saying
can-
crazy stuff to
listen,
get attention.
Listen, it could be.
Bro, he said he would beat Michael Jordan. Come on.
It can be an exaggeration all you want, but he did not.
Like,
You can say it could be an exaggeration all you want, but at the end of the day, he did not tell us so. He told us something different he told us something and something different is happening. All of them are in the league, cool. He said that all of them was going to be 3 superstars, essentially, going to the Lakers. And it didn't happen. And he has shifted every single one of his narratives year in and year out whenever the situation that was happening with his sons was different. Then it went to the Hornets, then it went to the Bulls, then it went to this and that and this and that. I'll say I told you so because they were all supposed to be on the Lakers.
Him getting 2 out. Well, I don't want to say him, but getting 2 out of 3 on the same team isn't bad.
bro, getting
not.
3 in the NBA. I don't care about them playing on the same team.
I gave credit to that already.
And
And
it's not just like that they're just some guys in the NBA, regardless of the talent. And I guess maybe especially because of the talent, because they're not, their abilities, they're not elite players, but the marketability that they bring.
2 of them are starters.
What 3 brothers do you know in NBA history have that much cachet?
to what, be on the same team?
No,
Or
just
as
in
much
terms
clout.
of, like,
As much
yeah.
clout. No, I mean, I'm not hating on that. I'm not hating on what he's done for his sons. I'm not hating on the fact on how elevated that he made them in their careers and how much clout that they have because of him. I'm not hating on that at all. But don't sit here and say LeVar told you so when he told us something different. That's all I'm arguing. I love what LeVar has done with his sons. I love the fact that all 3 of them in the league. I love the fact that LiAngelo and LaMelo Ball is on the same team. But don't sit here and say LeVar told y'all so when he told us
LeVar
something
told you,
completely
bro.
different. So, he told us
Never
something
lost.
different.
Never lost.
He did lose. When did his son?
We're off it. We're off it.
Yo, I need some more LeVar rants in my life, man.
Bro, I know. Where has he been, bro? Bring
Yeah.
him back. We need to.
After he prophesized that all 3 of his sons would be in the league, told you so, Dub. Now he's probably just kicking back, like, all right, Big
Yo,
Baller Brand's doing pretty good.
player's
My
choice?
sons are in the league.
Do we need to bring him on?
Yes.
I would love to have LeVar.
Absolutely.
Let's hit
He
LeVar
will
up,
fit right in.
bro. He would
I
love
would
player's
like
choice.
to say this. I would like to say this. I do love LeVar Ball. I love everything that he's doing, and I hate people that actually just hate and despise LeVar Ball and what he does for his kids. He's a tremendous father, and he does everything that he could to be a good father for his kids. So, clarify that. I'm not a hater. I'm just
I thought you were a hater. You said that you embrace being.
no. This is debonair. Just debonair now.
Gotcha.
No more
Okay.
double holics.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot who I was speaking to. Jamar's
okay.
Hall said, "Do you think Ben Wallace is a top 75 player?"
Probably.
Maybe. Quite possibly.
Bro, that's too many players to like go down a list. Like I can't.
He was in the top 75, right?
I can't think about that off the
I
top
don't
of my
think
head.
so.
Ben Wallace was
no,
for sure in
like
there.
I mean, Tracy McGrady didn't make it. Like, come on, no.
Can we do something?
We're talking about a 4-time defensive player of the year, though.
Can we all?
So
NBA champion too.
you picking him up? Okay. Dwight Howard didn't make it.
They should have made it.
Ben Wallace got a little more to it. I forgot
I'm not
the
saying
white guy.
No.
got that championship.
He did not make it. So that's one of the players that like you could argue he got snubbed, but he did not.
Can we do something? Can
I'd
we
say
all?
there's bigger snubs than him, but
Can we all make our own top 75 list? Give it to me or JD, and we could do a point system and see what our own combined top 75 list is.
God, that's a lot of names, bro.
It could take out.
I don't think I could make
day.
a good top 75. Like my list would be.
Well, Jay, you're
horrendous.
not a panelist, you're a host, so we could
That's
just
true.
get this from all of these panelists.
That's true. I don't know that I want to assign homework, but if you guys want to make it, by all means.
I would love for that. And then we
All right.
post it online.
Giannis believes that Steph's the best player in the world. Steph responds saying he thought the same about Giannis last year.
I
Thoughts?
spoke about this before when Giannis said LeBron was the best player in the world.
Yep.
Fake humility. I said the same thing then. I'm
Fake
gonna say the
humility
same
for
thing now.
sure.
And apparently I was crazy for saying it then. You guys argued with me, but it's
Did I
just
argue
true.
with you?
I don't remember. you
Probably.
arguing with me, but I remember people disagreeing with me. But that's what
Well,
I'm saying,
I agree
fake
with you
humility.
now. If I did disagree with you before, I'm taking it back. I'm recanting my statement. This is definitely fake humility and maybe even strategy. As Steph said, who cares?
All right, let's move on.
Wait, I do want to touch on this. Is there a video that he said this, or this was just from an interview and somebody
it's,
just quoted
There-
it?
there's a
a
video,
press
but
conference.
he basically said Steph's the best player in the world is the person who won the title, the person who is the last man standing at the finish line, and that's Steph Curry. So that's who the best player in the
I
world
would play
is.
the
I don't-
video, but I know we're gonna get copyrighted.
And he said it,
all
and he
this
put
BS.
Finals MVP in there. So basically, he's saying that you know, what I mean, the last man standing and the one that got the, you know, the biggest individual award at the end of the season, at the end of the playoffs.
And why
he's
is
the
it?
one.
And why is it fake humility?
No, but what I'm saying is like, if that's what we're going off of, if that's his criteria, then it's not an opinion. It's just a matter of fact, and that's just the baseline statement. That means every year we can go back and we can say this is the best player in the world. We just look at the Finals MVP every year, with the exception of that one guy who won Finals MVP when they fucking lost. You know what I mean? Everybody know who that is.
I mean, Euro. He said Kevin Durant was the best player in the league last year. Now he's saying LeBron and Stephen Curry's better than him this year. I mean, wouldn't say that.
And he
it's
did
fake
say
humility.
LeBron in the mix in there somewhere too.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's fake humility. He's just saying whatever.
He's just
Why
saying
is he
anyone
saying
but him. He's just saying
Why is
anyone
he
but
saying
him.
why is that fake humility? That's just humility. He doesn't.
Because
feel
if he's
the
just
best player.
if he's trying to be respectful, like you can be fake humility doesn't mean it's disrespect. You know what I mean? I just think that he, like Mar said, he doesn't want to say it's him. He believes that he's the best fucking player, but he, you know what I mean? He has a certain appearance that he's keeping up. You know what I mean? Whether that's true to his like true character or not. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. He doesn't want to say that he's the fucking top dog.
Wait, but what
who
if
are
he
you
really
guys to
doesn't
say-
think that
yeah,
he's the
what
best?
if what if he
Stop.
actually
That's
What?
fine.
Stop.
No, he can think he's not the best, but then it makes no sense for you to say Kevin Durant was the best last year.
Man.
He wasn't the reigning Finals MVP. He wasn't the person in the Finals that year.
That's his
There was no-
opinion.
You cannot
but
win
you can't
MVP.
change your criteria a million times. It was LeBron James because he had longevity. It's Steph Curry because he won the chip in the Finals MVP, and it was Kevin Durant because of whatever reason it was Kevin Durant.
Our
You can't-
opinions
You think
change.
you think that Giannis cares about being consistent? He's just saying that players that he just thinks is better. I don't think it's fake. He doesn't need to hold to the same type of criteria when he's talking about himself. All he's saying is that he felt as if those players were better than him. He doesn't need to be consistent at all because this is how he feels.
I mean, you
He's
do
the
kinda have to be
player.
consistent when you
He's
say
the
I
player.
think the best player is this, and then you previously say someone else was the best player who doesn't stick up to the reason you said someone would be the best player.
Well,
And he
Giannis
also
knows
didn't
consistent
say
with
that. He also didn't say that he's not better than those guys.
Is-
He just
is
said
Giannis-
that
let
the
me ask
best
y'all
player in
this.
the world is because Steph Curry was the last man standing and he won the Finals MVP.
Let me ask y'all this: Is Giannis Antetokounmpo an analyst or of any source? Is he an analyst at all? Does he go on debate shows and do this?
No.
No, so of course he's a player, okay? He's not sitting here wondering, oh, let me be consistent with what I said before because people are gonna get on my neck. No, he's just saying exactly what he feels. Don't sit here and say, oh, he has to be consistent. No, he's not a damn analyst. He's a basketball player. He doesn't need to be consistent. He's just saying how he feels. If he feels that way, he's entitled to feel however which way,
Yeah,
not
he can
consistent
feel
or
how he
not.
wants.
That's how
It's
he
fake
feels.
humility.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he can
not.
feel
You
how he
can't
wants.
sit here and
It's
say
fake
it's
humility.
fake humility when you don't even
Yeah,
know
okay,
the
So
man.
I
you
can
don't
say how I
believe
feel.
so you
I
don't
can say
believe
how I
that
feel. I
you
feel
don't believe
fake
that
humility.
Giannis thinks he's the best
You
player in
can
the
say
world?
how you feel, but don't sit here and say it's fake humility when I'm not going to
That's how
sit
I
here and say
feel.
that Giannis is being fake when at the end of the day I have no relations to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I
I
feel
don't
I
know
feel
him
he's
as a
being fake.
person. You feel as he's being fake. You're not going to say it's fake humility though. Say it's humility and leave it at
I
that.
I
I
feel
mean,
it's
it
fake
could be,
humility.
it could just be respect though for his peers. I think sometimes if you say like you're the best guy, it gets misconstrued as being cocky. Might not be fake humility. It might just be like I got respect for my other peers.
I agree with that as well.
And now
And at
I'm
the end of the
recalling.
day, when the ball gets rolled out, Giannis still knows he's going to dominate everybody that's put in front of him.
Yeah, he doesn't actually care who's better than who. I do recall this debate now. Well, not even really debate, but I was getting on Mars's head about this because he's trying to think that he's a mind reader. It's crazy. All right. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. But before we talk about Kevin Durant, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. People are still strolling into the stream, man. You guys are all welcome, but make sure you hit that like button. That is the entry fee. All right, KD's response on if he's surprised he's still in Brooklyn. He said, no, I know I'm that good. I know I'm that good that you're not just going to give me away. I know who I am. He was essentially saying, like, he understands the caliber of player that he is. He understands he's not just going to get traded for whatever, a baseball bat, like the one MLB player that got traded for a baseball bat. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is crazy, bro. Getting traded for a baseball bat, it's like,
yo, what?
Yeah, we're gonna give you 10 basketballs for your practices. Give us Kevin Durant. Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm
also,
curious.
remember to like the damn video, please.
Echo. Curious what you guys think about this. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Dub's not wrong.
I'm never wrong. Dubonaire's never wrong. I just dominated Mars, and I'm gonna continue to dominate the whole market.
I'm here
Let's
for it.
continue.
I think Dub's winning the show. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a poll in the chat for you live viewers to
Mars
vote who's winning
Mars
the
had
show.
an amazing Magic Johnson take. I will give him that. That one, for sure, put me on the edge of my seat.
Mars set the
Overall.
tone for sure.
He for sure. But I led
Dumbass
him there.
take.
I did lead him there. If we're gonna be real, I did lead him there. I said, Mars, I need you to say something, and he said something, and he spoke fire.
I thought JD was the one that introduced that.
J-Rob doesn't even qualify for this poll. He said
That's a
10
lie.
words, so he can't win this show.
Fire.
All right. Anyway, KD's words. Did you guys see this or hear this interview?
Yeah, I watched the interview.
What'd you think?
I mean, what's he supposed to say? Someone asking if he's surprised he's in Brooklyn. He's going to be like, yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't want to be here. Like, what's he meant to say? He's on the team. He's can't say he's surprised to still be on the team.
I mean, he could have took the Aiden approach.
Right.
And that kind of was
Which
the
is
case too. Remember, he was saying like him and Steve Nash haven't talked, or was that him or Kyrie? I'm pretty sure that was KD saying that he hadn't talked to Steve Nash and just certain things of that nature.
I think so.
Don't know.
I know he spoke to like Sean Marks and stuff, but there's not much else he can really say about that.
Yeah.
Like he just said what he had to say.
Like at the end of the day, man, Kevin Durant lost this one. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to bite the bullet. He has to play. He signed that contract. Like, and ultimately, let's be real. Like, did any of us really in our hearts think that trade was ever going to get done? Like, was there ever going to be
a lot of people did.
Bro, I thought he was
A
gone.
lot of people thought he was going.
I thought he was gone.
I had faith he was coming to Golden State.
You gotta understand though, like,
Nasty.
it was never to me realistic to feel like Kevin Durant was going to get traded. You got to remember, this same offseason, Rudy Gobert went for, 4 first-round picks? Something like that? If you can get 4 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, and I have Kevin Durant as an asset, KD, I don't care if you want to leave or not, but I'm not letting you walk for pennies. I'm just not. Like, I'm not taking bubble gum in a washing machine. I want the house too. So,
and that's what he's that's what he was recognizing in that interview. He's like, I get it, I understand. Like, and I mean, that's kind of a nice little stroke of the ego for you. Like, hey, we were really trying to get something. You're worth a lot.
I do like how KD did break down the context of what made him comfortable staying here. Say basically, because in the full interview he goes into saying like they basically acknowledge that I am a valuable player and how much they love me, how much they want me to be here, and so he was basically saying like I am happy. I did want to leave, but I'm happy to be here because they expressed to me how much they wanted me and how much you basically are valued over here. Like, we're not just going to trade you just for, another star or this, that, and the third. It's like, KD, nah, we want you here. We damn near need you to be here to, complete what our goals are.
So speaking on the same lines of the Kevin Durant's interview, Steve Nash was also interviewed, and he said that the Kevin Durant news and all the hype around that, he never thought that was 100% accurate. He said it's not black and white like that. There's a lot of factors, a lot of things behind the scenes. He added a lot of things that are reported are not 100% accurate, so you get fragmented bits of the truth. You get things that are flat out not true. So, I mean, who knows what was actually happening behind the scenes? Like, you don't know what those conversations between KD and Joe Tsai and Steve Nash or whoever's involved, like the temperature in the room, like, and then things get reported and then a lot of assumptions. So something to keep in mind.
That's a fact. We can only go off reports, though. We can only go off what they tell us.
Right, it's a nasty game we play, but you know what? We play
Media Day to me this year was really interesting, though, for sure.
You liked it? What'd you like the best?
I just think the best thing about Media Day was like these reporters was ripping off all the Band-Aids, bro. Like, they weren't beating around the bush with the questions. Like, they were straight going for the throat. Like, one reporter in Brooklyn asked Ben Simmons straight up, how many threes you taking this year? Like, let me not even give you let's be straightforward. Then, in LA, they asked Westbrook.
But the Ben Simmons joint, he opened up that question by being on JJ Redick's podcast.
Yeah, facts.
This your favorite part, yo?
Then this right here.
That boy.
So, I just thought Media Day this year was really hilarious. I found it really interesting.
Ben Simmons was shooting threes earlier in practice,
the Lakers
too.
one was a little cringy, though, because I just felt like that Westbrook interview, like, they were – I do find, like, it is a little, like, I feel bad for him a little bit, like, the way the media is, like what he's going through as a player. Like, I know he's very, like, confident and doesn't show it, but
he has been
everybody's
demonized.
Human. Like, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know no matter how I show it, that shit would be pissing me off behind closed doors, bro. Like, I'd be livid. And I know that shit is hard for him, bro.
I wonder if there's a rule that can be implemented, forced by the players, to have, I guess, a little bit more tact when the press is talking to them. Because I don't think, like, those questions are, you can ask that same question just a little bit more respectful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like it, but whatever.
And Ron, can we not do that, please? Ben Simmons was shooting threes in practice the other day. Like, what does that even mean, bro? Like what? Are you kidding me?
No, literally earlier today, I seen just a second ago actually.
I did too, and he was bricking.
Oh, you seen it? I mean, he for sure was. I'm just saying he was shooting them.
He was shooting with Nick Claxton.
Remember, he was what year was that? He was doing that too.
Every year,
every year, bro. Literally
every off season.
Remember the off season where he was coming down? It was open dim, and he was shooting all types of threes, but he was making them though. And we like, oh man,
bro, he was getting gassed. He was getting gassed to the full extent. It was crazy, but. I'm excited to watch
Ben Simmons play.
I was really just going to say, I can't wait to watch Ben Simmons play basketball this year. I really hope that he's just like coming in with a refreshed mental and like he's in a new city, new uniform, new teammates, coach, whatever. Like, I really hope that he could thrive here. And
Man,
going
I
back to
think
Russell
y'all be
Westbrook.
over-exaggerating it, bro. It's not playing basketball is what these guys do. It's the reason they're in the NBA. I don't think it's gonna even be all of that seamless for Ben Simmons to play with Kyrie and KD. I don't think he's gonna struggle. Like,
I'm not talking about that, bro.
I don't know if I can play basketball anymore. No, Ben Simmons is gonna go out there and be the same Ben Simmons, if not better, because he's only what 20.
Are you saying it about Russ too?
About Russ, I think he's gonna have a better year.
I agree.
But at the same time, I don't think
but he struggled crazy, and if he put
I don't think he was terrible though. He just wasn't the same Russ.
What I'm saying is, are you talking about guys that quote unquote all of a sudden like forget how to play basketball? Like that's your argument, right? That's not happening or whatever. And of course that's not happening because Russ is still Russ. But at the same time, the press was zeroing in on all of them bricks that he was putting up, and not just like regular clinks. Like we're talking about like he building mansions type shit. You know what I mean? And so, like, that all plays. That's not because he, forgot to play basketball or whatever. It's the system. You know what I mean? His value within the team is low, and so they don't have any confidence in him. They don't include him in the flow of the offense the way that he needs to be, included. And as a result, that has an impact on his game, and that's why he's playing or was playing the way that he was playing. That can happen. This is why I always say chemistry is so important. If the chemistry with the Nets is trash, Ben Simmons, like what do you expect him to do? Like you think he's going to be nice like that regardless? Nah, he can go to a different team and just be in a better situation and be better. We know this is a thing. You go to better situations all the time and you don't just all of a sudden get magically better. You are that player or whatever. You can just, you know what I mean?
Nah, most definitely. I got you.
I think though as a team for sure, like I think they can play some masterful basketball together.
I believe that
as a core, and I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I think the Nets might be the scariest team in the NBA. Honestly, like if everything clicks between everybody, nobody's missing games, everybody's healthy, everybody's confident. Like the Nets to me seem like the scariest team.
It's the Bucks, bro.
Because they're a mystery still. There's
Bucks.
still a bit of a mystery because you don't know what Ben Simmons are going to be. People, and also I think people think there's a lot of dysfunction there. So
Bucks.
I don't know. Like I just
Bucks
think
are
they're scary, bro.
Bucks are the scariest. Bucks scare me more than the Nets.
Well, no, the
What's
Bucks are
scary
my
about the
favorite
Bucks?
to win the East.
Yeah,
I don't
what's so
find
scary
them
about the
scary. I
Bucks?
think they're just
Yeah,
like the
what's so
dominant
scary
force
about
in
the
the
Bucks?
East.
I find them scary. Are you kidding me?
But what's so scary about it?
They haven't added
That
anybody.
they are looking like they're going to
Yeah.
be the best team in the East.
But they're
Why?
the same team that won the. I don't think.
Wait, how?
I'm not talking
I
about
agree.
standings. I don't care where they finish. They still look like the scariest team in the East.
Why?
Like how?
Why?
What do you mean, why? I'm the host. Why are you asking me questions? Why do you think? Why do you not
You-
think?
You gave an opinion. I'm just asking why you think that.
Because I just said, because they look the scariest.
Based on what?
But how do they?
Based
look
on
the
looking
scariest?
scary.
They haven't.
Have you
they
ever
haven't-
gone out on Halloween and people are wearing scary masks? Why does that person look scary?
Yo, JD, I got you.
Thank you, Bron.
They look,
Halloween's
Yeah.
not a big thing.
they,
for me.
they look
Dish.
the scariest because they have the best player in the NBA.
There we
That's
go.
I mean, when we look
that's
at
why they're
when we
the
look at the
scariest.
other teams,
Okay.
when we look at the other teams in the NBA, I mean in the East, I mean the Boston Celtics got Malcolm Brogdon, which was a good improvement. That's scary. The Sixers right now with getting PJ Tucker, James Harden looking healthy, that also looks scary. The Brooklyn Nets, I would have to see more of it, but if J-Rob says it all works out, that would probably be scary. The Milwaukee Bucks is the same team that it was last year, so I don't know how they.
No, they're
Bro,
not.
and that's what
When they
asked me.
lost
Here, I'll
without
answer your
Chris
question.
Middleton?
I will answer your question. Here's why they scare me the most. The chemistry going into this season, another year with the majority of the same guys. So these guys are all on the same page. They know how to play basketball together on both sides of the floor. That's the other aspect is on both sides of the floor, they are pretty elite on the offensive side and the defensive side. Giannis is one of, if not the best player in the NBA. I'll give him top 3 because it's Luka Doncic is the best player in the
Right,
NBA.
he's the best player in
And
the NBA,
if
for sure.
all the compositions in the NBA, like looking at all the teams, they have the best fits in building around Giannis, in my opinion. So they just scare me the most, and like everything fits so well in that playing together for so long. Like those are typically they're going to be at the top of their divisions, and they're going to go deep into the playoffs. Just on that alone, sometimes.
Don't disagree.
They're gonna be deep in the playoffs, but I'm it's not scary. It's the same team we've seen for the years past.
Duh.
Okay,
so 2 years ago they won the NBA championship.
They wasn't scary.
Last year,
scary that year.
They weren't scary. All right, for sure. Well, they won the NBA championship.
The Brooklyn Nets were the favorite to come out the East that year.
And why didn't they come out the East?
Because they got hurt.
Okay, and why didn't they come out last year?
Because James Harden wasn't there.
Okay, for sure. So it's always some shit with Brooklyn. Now we're gonna talk about some team where it's not some shit with them. That 2 years ago they won the championship. Last year, if Chris Middleton doesn't get injured, they beat the Celtics. They were up against the Celtics too. You're returning back that same team. If they're healthy, bro, it's the Bucks are the clear-cut favorite.
I don't disagree with that. I think the Nets are the scariest because I still think there's still a mystery there, right? Like there's one side of the spectrum that thinks they're going to implode amongst themselves and not make any noise, and then there's those who are on the other side, which I'm probably leaning towards, where like, how good can they really be if they can be a real cohesive unit? You know, I think adding Ben Simmons, as much as people want to talk about his shooting, him defensively at the end of the day is a significant upgrade for.
It's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Yeah, for an area that they were really deficient at, and they got the perfect upgrade in that area. So and you got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Like I think they could be scary. I mean, I think the only mystery in terms of like for me is the bench. I'm not really too sure who's going to be like that, if their bench is going to be consistent enough to compete with some of the better teams in the East.
They grabbed some more pieces, though. They got Royce O'Neal. They got TJ Warren.
Don't even get me started on Royce.
But the thing is, though, my only thing about TJ Warren is, look, to me, that the bubble guy is who he was. Like, I don't know if TJ Warren is going to be TJ Warren, because if TJ Warren could be bubble TJ Warren, the Nets got to be a favorite.
Here's
explosive of a scorer.
This is what their depth chart's looking like as of today. Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton. Second would be Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal, TJ Warren, Day'Ron Sharpe. And then they've got Cam Thomas and Markieff Morris.
Man, they just need
they got Markieff Morris. They need another big. They need like another center.
I don't know why they really don't have Drummond back. If I would definitely
they need a big.
Day'Ron Sharpe 6'9".
He's just a young boy.
He said TJ Warren for 6 men of the year. That's not ridiculous. That could happen.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's ridiculous. I'm not sure about 6 man of the year.
Why? He's probably gonna be the first one off the bench.
I mean, yeah, but I just don't see it.
How? He comes off the bench scoring 19. Why couldn't he win it?
I mean, bro, the most successful we've seen him was in the bubble. I mean, he was good on the Pacers, but I wouldn't say like 6 man of the year worthy. I don't think he could have 19 off the bench. You still got Patty Mills that's off the bench that still needs to be fed.
I'm just saying, we're not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's not.
You asked me why. You asked me why. I gotta tell you why.
But you said it was like I'm bugging. Like it's not feasible.
You said 19 points off the bench. I think that's bugging to me.
They gotta have a third scorer. You know what I'm saying?
They got Patty Mills and Joe Harris on the court.
To be the third leading. Do we think Ben Simmons is gonna be the third leading scorer on the team?
He could get 16.
I do.
Seth Curry.
They got Seth Curry. They got Patty Mills. They got Joe Harris.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be Seth Curry or Patty Mills that would be the third leading scorer on that team. I think Ben Simmons is gonna play more of a facilitating role and like be dominant on the defensive end. He doesn't need to worry about offense. There's no if Ben Simmons is your third leading scorer, I think you actually have an issue. The way that roster's built. The way that roster's built.
I mean, the roster's built for him to excel. You got a bunch of shooters on the court that is open.
He's probably going to get the best spacing he's ever had in his career on this team.
So he could have 16 points off of layups and dunks because
let's not forget Ben Simmons always averaged his most points when Embiid was off the floor because the spacing was better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Valid point. I don't know. I don't see Ben Simmons being the third. Maybe he will.
I just don't see. I just don't see TJ Warren having 19 on that team. That's all.
If he could be 85% of what he was in that bubble,
son.
He could be
has he ever been 85% of that in his whole entire career?
No, I know. I agree. I don't. I still think that was the biggest anomaly of the bubble was TJ Warren by far.
Last thing on Ben Simmons. This is a quote. on just reflecting on the end of his Sixers tenure. He said, "I'm in a great place. I feel comfortable talking about it now, but those were some dark days for me. Obviously, I didn't handle things the right way, but the team didn't either." That was from JJ Redick's podcast, Old Man of the Three, and he also said on that episode that he still has love for Philly. Like I think he still has a spot in Philly, actually.
He still has real estate there.
Yeah, and so very interesting perspective when an entire city kind of just is dumping on you and you still showing love for it. But I think that's cool. Russell Westbrook says that the Lakers could be unstoppable. Ron, do you think the Lakers could be top? I'll give them top 4 in the West.
Hey, listen, y'all hated me last year, and y'all gonna hate me again. You got a player who a lot of you guys say is the best player of all time. You have AD, who a lot of you guys say, if he's healthy, he's the best power forward in the NBA, excluding Giannis. Now, excluding Giannis, and like I said last episode, that some people were saying that AD is an MVP candidate. If you guys watch the panel, Elder Rufus, you guys in the chat, he said that he would take AD as a dark horse MVP. So when you guys jumped on my head last episode for saying that, somebody did actually say that. And I just gave you the name of the person. And then
did
on
they
top
jump
of that,
him?
no. Well, no. Well, some people tripped off of him, but it's AD, so people can relate to that. But either way it goes, so you got a combo that's already won a championship, and then I'm still high on Westbrook. I am. Westbrook's still my guy. So I'm like, if Westbrook can adapt to, and on top of that, last year, if AD plays, Westbrook has a better year.
I could agree with that.
It's an
Westbrook
easier
is getting
transition.
moved.
He might be.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ron. You
Rob
gotta be
Pelinka
real,
said
I
that
don't
there's
think
going to
he
be major changes still happening.
Yeah, like
A major
I'll be
change
honest, Ron,
sounds like Russ.
Yeah,
It could be.
Look how many
be.
guards they brought to this team, Ron. There's either two reasons they brought all those
It could
guards.
be the case.
Either they don't want to play them in the fourth quarter, or they have other options if they can't figure it out. But I'm gonna be honest, I really don't see him making it through the season, unfortunately.
I don't think it's a good fit. I don't think it's a good fit for Russ at all, honestly. I've been saying it for the whole time. The games just doesn't complement each other. Maybe he comes off the bench as a sixth man, cool. But right there, I mean, you still need some help on the perimeter. You do have Patrick Beverley on there, but who else on that team could really guard on the perimeter like that besides Pat Bev and LeBron James? So they need answers with that, and trading Russell Westbrook is the perfect way to do that, and that's the only option.
Who do you trade him for, though? Because the only trade that I seen, it was like, this is an automatic win. They need to do that, and I think they should have included a first-round pick to do this, is to get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I think that trade right there.
I think that can help.
I think it's too late, though. I don't think they can do that without because a major part of that trade was THT. So trading THT away to get Patrick Beverley, I don't.
Yeah, but they gotta get.
I mean, whatever pieces were, whatever players were available then, obviously they're not available now. But that doesn't mean that once the season starts and things start like moving about, that there's not better opportunities for the Lakers that present themselves as far as trading.
Yo, Ron, that's fire.
Especially what if Russ starts playing better, and then he increases his trade value.
If Russ starts playing better, would they even trade Russ and they're winning games?
Yes, because he's an ill fit. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, him just coming off the bench as a sixth man and then LeBron James taking the reins in the fourth quarter. If it starts working out, do you really think that they would still even try to trade him?
Yo, they got to trade someone.
Is it working out for Russ?
If he's playing good level basketball off the bench, then I mean,
is he cool with that,
bro?
I think Russ is cool with whatever situation he's a part of. He just wants to win.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
I think the sample size we've seen was way too small, bro. It's a lot of these teams. It's taking a lot of teams time to be together and to be cohesive and learn each other's tendencies and stuff like that. You got two players that are the most ball dominant players that we've ever seen in the history of basketball: Russell Westbrook and LeBron, and AD being the superstar he is, bro. That is a tough fit. But I think, bro, you got a new coach in there. You got some more pieces, bro. I think with time they can look better and be better.
I just personally think the situation is toxic. Like, if you watch the media day, like, I just don't think it's gonna work out ultimately. Um, Unfortunately, with Russell Westbrook's situation, like I don't think a lot of teams are in business, but I think you're gonna move him. Like I just don't feel like you bring in Dennis Schroeder, you bring in Pat Bev.
Bro, I'm with you. You got to get rid of some of these guards.
Like
that's all they have is guards.
Yeah, like you brought in, you got a stable full of guards. Like that don't. There's either that doesn't really, that kind of shows you where they're leaning. You know what I'm saying? And I do think there are teams out here because the way the moves are going, the Pacers got to move off Turner. So I still think Russ going to Indiana. I mean, that's what I think
move. They should have made that move.
I mean, right when it was sometimes if you wait,
they should have went and took it.
Maybe they already made it. Maybe the handshake has already been made, and they just wait.
Price is different, bro. Yeah, they wasn't trying to get off both them first round picks.
Fuck them.
Only if you're getting, they said only if they were getting Donovan Mitchell and Kyrie, bro, which makes sense.
I mean, I feel it.
Like, man, you're not giving up your future for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. It just is what it is. I'd rather suck for another year than do that too.
Okay, so then you're gonna suck all the way up until those picks that you're gonna take, or
no, I won't have to because I won't have to suck it all because I'm the Los Angeles Lakers and I have the best free agent market in the NBA.
But that's the point. That's the point I'm making.
Stuck with Russ
the Lakers don't rely on first round picks. They use their first round picks.
They rely on their market. They can get good players all the time because it's the Lakers.
Understandable. So if they're getting good players and they're gonna be a good team, then they're not gonna need those first round picks. But I mean, to counter that though, if they're gonna use those picks to get somebody better than Miles Turner and Buddy, which I don't see anybody that fits that team as seamless as those two, then I mean, kudos to them. But bro, you got Buddy, who is an instant floor spacer next to LeBron, which LeBron needs floor spacers. And then on top of that, if you pairing up the duo of Miles Turner and AD at the 4 and the 5. Your front court defense is amazing, and you know those two can both guard all 5 players on the floor. You know,
yeah, but ultimately you gotta also be real. Like, do you want to give up both of these future assets? Because you gotta still think, yeah, you'll still have AD for the future, and you have like this window to win now. And I am on the side of if you have the
Miles
window to win
too.
now as a GM, win now. But at the same time, LeBron James has already publicly announced that he wants to play with his son if he goes to the NBA. He's also publicly announced of like being interested in owning the team. So I don't see him being there for at least minimum, only see him being there 3 more years. I think that's about how many more years LeBron in LA will get. So if you're not getting a Donovan Mitchell level, Kyrie Irving level player, you're going to get just pieces to fit around the pieces you already have.
They got
I'm
2
not
superstars
selling
though.
out both my first round picks for that. I'll give you one. I'll give you Westbrook. I'll throw in a Kendrick Nunn if that's what else you want. And I'll go with that. But I'm not going to give up my entire future when my best player is 38, going to be in his 40s. He's not going to be here forever. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I would feel it if it was a destination like Cleveland or a destination like Detroit, but it's LA though. It's like, bro, you guys are used to being at the top of the league anyway. So when you're at the top of the league, those picks are 25 or worse. So it's
that's my point. You're not going to give, but at the same time, I understand that it's LA, but I'm not giving up those points. I mean, those picks. If I know if I wait one more year, Westbrook goes to free agency. Like, I understand we're thinking about like right now, but at the same time, dude, why would I give up my future assets if I all I have to do is be patient for 1 year and I can bring in I have the lay of the land because I know I have the best. It's Hollywood. I'm not going to give up my future for being impatient because I feel like I have to win this specific year.
So staying on topic with
for 2 more seasons.
Staying on topic with the Lakers, Anthony Davis said that they're the underdogs.
Facts.
That's so weird saying a team with LeBron James is the underdogs. I don't know that they're the underdogs.
Yes, they are because nobody has no faith in them.
I wouldn't say they're the underdog. I wouldn't say they're the underdogs. Sure. It's more of how do I even say this? It's a question mark. That's all it is. Like, we know how talented they could be. We know that they could compete for a title if everything works out the way it's supposed to. It's just a question mark. It's not really an underdog. It's more like, you know, can this team live up to the expectations that we've had in years past? Because we love and trust the talent that they have, but we
Man,
know
they
that
are
if everything
underdogs,
clicks, they're
bro.
competing.
Nobody
bro.
has any faith in them, Dub. Like, let's not sit here and beat around the bush. Like, we don't read the comments and watch TV and like, bro, people have no faith in this team. Like, nobody thinks this team is going to be a major player in the Western Conference. If you see most people's standings of where they'll land, some people got them borderline playing 7-6, bro. There's not a lot of
I like to see
hype
that.
about this team. So
I'd like to see that because I don't pay attention to what other people be saying. So I'd like to
That's
see that.
that's not a bad spot.
that's
so
not true, bro. Yes, you do. We all do. Like, if we're sports fans, we are definitely listening to everything, bro. So just sit here
So
and act like you don't. It's not true.
I think we
How you gonna tell me what I do? I know what I
bro,
do.
because how did you get interested in sports, Dub? You didn't.
No. I said
Come on,
no.
dog.
I
Like,
said
let's be
when
real.
well other people hold other people. I didn't really care about that. I
I'm
didn't
not
see
saying they're going to make it your opinion, but we do have to speak in terms of like what the majority opinions are.
Yeah, I didn't know the majority opinion. Is what I was saying.
Bro, looking at the West, it's not crazy to say that they're borderline playing team.
Bro, they can't. The Lakers have a crazy they have their floor and their ceiling. It's probably one of the biggest in the leagues.
Biggest
But, bro,
gaps.
Yeah. But I think, bro, I think the Lakers really got potential to like really make some noise this year. You guys are sleeping on them. I'm not finna. It's obviously a lot is predicated on certain circumstances, like can AD be healthy? Can Westbrook adopt more? Will their new pieces be able to mesh with LeBron, Patrick Beverly? Is Kendrick Nunn healthy? Will Lonnie Walker be as good as he was with the Spurs? Things like that. It's a bunch of little questions. But
Lonnie
bro,
looking
like,
nice.
and that's what I'm saying.
Okay, nice. He's probably going to be the starting two in my eyes. I think.
Lonnie got game and he was getting down with the Spurs. But bro, I think the Lakers are a little better than people are giving them credit for. And on top of that,
I agree, Ron.
I've seen LeBron do less or more with less.
I agree. I 100% agree with that take, Ron. And I think the other part is nobody wants to give them credit for actually making a conscious decision to get younger.
Wait,
like,
Ron,
clear as day they made a conscious
do you
decision
think
to
that
get
this
younger
team
and
is
more
better
athletic.
than the bubble championship?
That's a good question too.
That's a great question.
Good question,
But that's why I'm
That's
high
like
on
yet
this
to be
Lakers
determined,
team.
though.
That's why I'm high on them because the
Bro.
rosters it's quite similar. It's
Yeah,
not.
but
I
one
don't
team
see
won a
too much
championship,
not.
baby.
No,
That's
it's
kinda-
not.
that's
They
kind of
have
a tough
three
question
players
to
from
have.
that
One
bubble
question
team.
won the
They
championship.
basically blew that team up.
No,
off
for
the
sure,
heels of
for
a
sure.
championship.
Well, this is the reason why I'm saying it's quite similar because you got LeBron and AD. That's why. And then the other three players that you can
Pieces
put around them
those guys.
aren't terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, on that championship team, yes, you had Danny Green, who was, he had championship experience and all of that. So no, they don't have another Danny Green.
They
But
had-
they, and they
This
also
And
team-
he had
LeBron,
experience
though,
with
as two point guard.
LeBron.
Bro,
He'd
this
been his
team
teammate.
was nice. Avery Bradley, KCP, Caruso, Quinn Cook,
Kuzma.
AD, Danny Green, THT, Dwight Howard, Kyle
let's
Kuzma,
not-
JaVale McGee, Markieff Morris.
Let's
Rondo
not-
was even on that team.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush, bro. That 2020 team is definitely better than what the team that they have now. They have better pieces to complement each other. They had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard to sit here and split the responsibilities
Yeah,
of a
most
center to
definitely.
take some pressure off of Anthony Davis. They had KCP was playing good defense that year. Danny Green, Alex Caruso, Rondo. And who was Avery Bradley was there too.
Yes.
So they had all those
He
guys,
didn't
bro. That
play in the
2020
playoffs, though.
team.
Remember, he didn't want to go to the.
Oh
bubble.
yeah, he didn't play in the playoffs, but they were still able to be fine because LeBron James was running point. So I'm sorry, bro. That 2020 team, bro, it was beautifully
It was-
constructed around.
I mean,
Anthony
they
Davis
won a
and LeBron James.
championship, bro. So it's hard to compare the teams. Like, you're comparing a team that hasn't played a game yet to a team that won.
Yeah, but I'm just
Even if
looking
they
at
play, I
the
think
pieces,
they're
bro.
better.
I'm just looking at the pieces. You don't even have. Who cares if they won?
No,
Those
no, I
pieces
don't-
are so much
I'm
better.
gonna be
I get what
honest,
you're
bro,
saying,
the pieces might have been better at that time, but how do we not know the pieces?
Yeah,
I think there's
exactly.
a lot
Bro,
of missing
we
pieces
were just
today, bro.
talking about they have like 100 guards on their team. Come on.
The,
No,
the
no,
balance,
no,
the
no,
balance
I'm-
is way
okay,
better.
no,
They had
that's-
Balance
interior
was
defense.
way better.
They had
The balance was
perimeter
perimeter
defense.
defense.
Yes.
If we're saying though that, like I said about what's his name, Pelinka, saying that there's still more moves to be made, we don't know what the final roster is going to look like. I think we have to really wait until like day one, who they send on the court, who's the roster.
Well, I mean, in
course.
that case, you have to wait until the end of the trade deadline
Of course.
Yeah, pretty
before we
much.
make any
Yeah,
projections.
I think so.
J-Rob, what are you talking about?
Maybe.
J-Rob's in a bouncy house right now. This guy's all over the place.
What are we doing?
What do you mean?
Let's hit these super chats.
I'm just saying, we can't compare the teams. We don't know what they're going to be. That's why
We're comparing it to what it is right now.
I'm comparing it to what it is right now, and the point I'm trying to make is the 2020 roster is better for sure.
Way better.
It's better. I'm not even gonna go off the ledge and say way better because, like how I keep saying, when you have LeBron and AD, it's not really that hard to build another.
Yeah,
roster
we're not looking at those guys. We're looking at the pieces around them, though.
Okay, those pieces were more structured. They fit in better. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think that their reserves and their other players aren't bad right now. I don't think their role players are terrible. I think they're a little better than people are giving them credit for.
But I also agree with Ron in that point. I am in the bouncy house because I do think they're more athletic. No, because I do think they're more athletic. Like I just see the boat. Like I think two things could be true. Like I do see that this team is more athletic. I think they have a lot more two-way potential than the Lakers have had in a while. And that's really it, you know. So that's why I'm saying, like, if this team pans out and they can get the most out of it, I do kind of agree with Ron in the sense of they do have the potential to be better.
And also, I'm high on Dennis Schroeder too. I think Dennis Schroeder has been a very good player in the NBA for a long time, and I don't think he gets as much credit as he deserves.
Yeah, I do like Schroeder on the team. I hate that they have so many guards. All right, but let's hit these.
They got no defense.
Let's hit these.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. But let's move on. Mars, are you gonna let the chat talk to you like this?
How are they talking to me?
I mean, you're responding to him in the chat, but like, you could let him talk to you like this on air. You gotta let him know.
They can say what they want. I don't care.
All right. They're saying that you're just waiting to spew stats.
Right. And they're gonna listen to me whether I do or not.
Jamar Hall. Does Derrick Rose without injuries win a ring or another MVP?
What was that? What was
Does
that again?
Derrick Rose without injury win another ring or MVP, or win a ring or another MVP?
I don't know, bro. That's so up in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, the ring part tough. MVP you can kind of gauge.
League, bro.
MVP you can kind of gauge. I don't think he does.
LeBron will still be in the league whether he was injured or not. It was over.
Yeah, I don't think he wins a ring, honestly. LeBron and the boys, nah.
Yeah, like Kobe.
You never know though. You never know what free agents go.
Man, the dogs were still outside with Derrick Rose was outside. Like y'all be coming on.
Hey, check this out. What if Kawhi doesn't go to what if D Rose is healthy and Kawhi doesn't go to Toronto? Instead, Kawhi goes to Chicago.
That's different.
What are all these crazy?
We talk about something different. What if KD doesn't go to Golden State? He goes to Chicago.
Ron,
this is the butterfly. This is the butterfly.
This is insane.
No, because this is why I'm saying this though. D Rose was on the trajectory to be a superstar. Superstars attract players in free agency. So I'm saying somebody may have wanted to go play with D Rose.
Oh my
God! And on top of that, they already had Jimmy Butler too. Hold on, they already had Jimmy Butler too. So it's MVP Derrick Rose still getting better because he got it at 22, and you got Jimmy Butler who hadn't yet came into his own when Derrick Rose was the MVP. So now you got two players. Jimmy Butler is a debatable top 10 player in the league right now. So you got Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler.
So you think that Chicago Bulls team with a healthy Derrick Rose could have dethroned LeBron James on Miami Heat or Cleveland Cavaliers?
It depends on who else, what other moves they would have made. That's the point. At them two alone, probably not. But if another free agent comes along, then we might have to start having different conversations.
But I think we're just adding too many. We're adding way too many factors.
I'm gonna be honest.
Now. I mean, I'm just
going
off
playing with Westbrook to play with that Derrick Rose, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm not saying they were the same player, but he's not going from what he was dealing with Westbrook to go play with Derrick Rose.
Let's get this. Sharon Rada. Before 2020-2021, D-Book was an empty stats player. Ron, don't forget PG was balling and winning as a solo superstar on a team.
Balling and winning what?
They weren't winning.
First off, that's what I'm gonna say. Second off, who was on Devin Booker's team? And as I'm looking at the stats, his stats are identical from when Chris Paul came to when Chris Paul wasn't there. So his game hasn't changed at all. Yeah, you can say empty stats and whatnot, but Devin Booker is continuing to get better and better and better every season after season after season. So I mean, empty stats or not, like you could say that, but he's still balling.
There's no way.
Yo. Charlie sent the super chat, said this would be paying Dub to stop talking because facepalm.
It's okay, Charlie. At the end of the day, you are watching me and you're hearing me talk, and I would talk no matter what. $2.
Copy and paste answer for
right.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Control C, Control V.
I actually seen that. I was waiting for Ron. I was waiting for Jay to bring that up. Yes, I'm up here. Thank you for the $2. If you do want to continue to not have me talk, just keep putting in those $2, and maybe when it hits.
Oh, there's 2 more, and this one's for Ron. Love you, Ron.
Oh,
but you
hold on.
relax.
Dub, did you just say $100 super chat will get you to be quiet for how long?
Quite possibly.
He said quite possibly.
We need guarantees, though.
We do need guarantees.
It's a good possibility. It depends. I want Charlie to do it, though. If Charlie gives me $100 right now, I'll leave the show.
No, we're not leaving those shows. But you could put
leave
in time
the
out
show
for like,
for the
let's
day.
say
15 minutes.
Yeah. No, we ain't doing that.
15
let's
minutes.
say 5 minutes.
All right, Charlie, put your money where your mouth is. Drop $100 right now. $98 since you already put in $2. Drop $98 right now, and I will shut up.
That's a bargain.
If not,
if
not, shut your mouth. And
So, Dub, what you're basically saying is shut me up or you shut up.
Exactly.
Oh my God! All right. Fire. Oh, yes. Perfect. Dub. Jimmy Butler. Did you see this?
Oh my God! No, I don't want to talk about it.
Please. Please.
No.
So Jimmy Butler responding to being ranked 17th on ESPN's player rankings. This was for Media Day. One of the reporters asked him, and he said, "Word, that's good." And the reporter said, "Are there 16 players that are more impactful than you?" And Butler said, "Probably so. Probably about 25 of them."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought she was going to talk about his hair.
Oh, no, we don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
We could.
Yeah. Is this fake humility?
I think this is just sarcasm. I think it's
sarcasm. Yeah, bro. Probably sarcasm.
Sarcasm. I mean, I don't really care. Jimmy Butler and the way he answers questions. I mean, sometimes it's true. Sometimes he is sarcastic. Sometimes he likes joking, and sometimes he doesn't. I mean, what he says is what he feels. I remember after 2020, after the NBA Finals run, he did say, "Yo, there's probably 10 or 15 guys that's possibly better than me." So I don't know why people like giving me all this praise. So, Jimmy Butler is a humble guy as well. So maybe he meant it. Maybe he was being sarcastic. I'm not sure. I wouldn't call him fake, though. Just be off of my own personal opinion.
All right.
I think it's hard to find 10 players better than Jimmy Butler.
Right now?
Yeah.
Nah.
10? I think you could do 10. 17,
10
where they have him on that list is...
Well, he's number 9 in our Players' Choice ranking. If you guys missed that, go back to last episode. You'll see Players' Choice top 25. But, bro, I'm talking about just in terms of what he provides for winning. Like, when we talk about best players, like, yeah, maybe some people, 10 players that are more talented than him, but impactful to winning and doing what Jimmy does, playmaking, scoring, rebounding, on defense, guarding the other team's best player, just being the heart and soul of your team. Bro, I'm like, I don't see there being 10 players that do more than Jimmy Butler in that capacity.
Pull it up, Jay. Pull it up, Jay.
No, I got you.
Pull it up, Jay.
Charlie with another $2 said, "I don't care about you that much, Dub. Your takes are basura."
So that's $4 you just sent. So $96 away, sir. So as again, if you're gonna talk all this shit, put your money where your mouth is and completely shut me up. $100, sir. So you're $96 away. If you don't got the money, just say that. No, like I said, I don't want to be affiliated around broke people.
Dubonaire's on top.
Yeah, obviously not a debonair.
Jamars Hall said, "I could die in peace knowing I took over the super chats for the episode. P.S. Ron nasty as hell." That is facts, Jamars Hall. You've been hitting us with a ton of stuff to talk about on today's show.
Hey, Jamaris, I could die in peace too knowing I'm nasty as shit.
Ron has been in rare form today. I am very wow.
Get used to it,
Surprised.
Dub. Hey, if you're not going to be in your normal state, if you've moved on to the Dub and Airs, then
Ron's here.
Are you
I got to take on a new persona too.
are you the new top left?
He's the raunchy. Raunchy.
Ron's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Y'all get used to this new raunchy shit.
Yo, how do you guys feel about the Raptors monitoring the SGA situation in OKC? You guys see this?
No. What happened?
I think that's smart. I mean, he's from the area, and I think he would be a big ad. Him and Scotty Barnes could be kind of lethal. I mean,
Man.
that could be a great tandem.
Hey, I'm big on Shea. Like people,
Yeah, I'm big.
I brought up Shea on the panel, and they damn near ran me off the
Shea
show.
Alexander is only reason I don't think we talk about him as much as we probably should is because he's in Oklahoma City Thunder, bro.
Also, too,
Facts.
because he was in the same draft class as Luka and Trey, and they got all that praise coming right out the gate.
I promise you, if Shea Alexander was still a Clipper, and he was able to like play with Kawhi or Paul George, the conversation between him and Trae Young will be a lot different. I'm jacking it.
Excuse
That
me.
was a bit too far, but
Jacking that.
Trey-
I can take the hate. I can take the heat for that. I'll take it.
You know, Shea like that for real.
No, I just think
Obviously,
Shea is
I'm
like that,
taking
bro.
Trey, I'm taking Luka, but right after that, in that draft class, it's no question about it. I'm taking Shea.
Yeah, I'm not saying those guys aren't. Shea is better, but I'm just saying like I think we would have more of a conversation about it than we think if he was in a different situation.
Yeah, if he was on a winning team for sure. A lot of the times where
better. Not at
a
all
lot-
saying that he's better.
a lot of the way that people view people is due to situations of them winning or not. And sadly for Shea, after OKC, he's just been in losing situation after losing situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would like to see him on a team that is competitive and see how people will view him there, because a lot of people do switch up after somebody starts winning. So I see your point with that, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think he would be on the level as Trae Young, though. Just say that, or near it.
Jamaris Hall. I love Ron, though. He's hilarious. I love the entire panel. Ray23, where would Kawhi rank all time with another ring?
Pull it up. Pull it up.
I'm across the bridge, Dub. Relax. Hashtag Martians.
Listen,
hashtag Euros.
If you can, if you can't, all right, I'm gonna change my persona real quick. If you can't handle the heat, bro, don't open your mouth. If you can't handle somebody talking shit back, don't talk shit, bro. Relax, son. I'm across the bridge, bro. Relax, bro. Chill. You're not that big, bro.
Doubleaholic like.
All right, go ahead. I switched back up. Never mind. I'm back.
Okay, Dominator's back in the seat.
But if you are gonna talk crap and get or start to get in your feelings after somebody, is talking.
I think he's
back,
trolling. I think he's trolling. Dub.
At the end of the day, you're just emotional, man, and you got to deal with that.
I'm pretty sure. He's
Stop
chilling,
having
but-
little man syndrome.
Where'd Kawhi rank with another ring all time?
Well, where will Kawhi rank with another ring all time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he will probably be in the same spot no matter what.
yeah,
What?
this isn't a question for me. I have my opinions on accolades. It's another agenda I have to push one day, but
So wait.
He's not
Where
leaving.
does Kawhi rank all time right now for you guys?
bear with me.
Wait, how much money is that now? Is that 5 super chats? So it's
I
10
think
bucks.
it's like almost 10, yeah.
$10. All right, perfect.
I'll put it up. Charlie sent another super chat. 1v1 next show, Dub. Not my feelings at all. He's here to debate.
I'm here for it. $10. You're $90 away, brother. I'm waiting for it.
I
Sure,
have
and-
Kawhi as my 25th best player of all time.
If he wins another ring or right now?
He's not moving anywhere.
Got you.
Right.
25?
Yeah, I don't.
Kawhi get another ring with the Finals MVP, and if he does it in a fashion that's anything that's extraordinary, or it's like, oh, he beat this team and he beat that team, and let's say he goes off in the playoffs too while he's doing it, bro. Kawhi pushing 10.
Pushing
10?
10?
Kawhi pushing 10.
How can you?
This is why I hate
he in that
accolades.
11 to
This
15
is
range.
why I hate accolades.
11 to 15 range of what?
already?
Of like all
This is
time?
what-
Of like all
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, bro.
Come
Yeah,
on,
bro.
dog.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking
like
about?
that. Kawhi like that, bro. 3 rings, 3 finals MVPs. Come on, man. You got to start.
Oh, he would have had 3 finals MVPs.
Yes, he got 2 finals MVPs already.
But
Let's let him
Ron.
know.
But
I
the
gotta
thing
think
we
maybe.
have to acknowledge about Kawhi Leonard, I mean, you knock CP3 for the same exact reasonings. At the end of the day, he doesn't have a peak that's long enough. He doesn't have longevity. And
I don't
at
knock
the end of the day,
CP3 for his
he's-
peak. I knock CP3
No,
for not being a winner.
no, but hold up.
But then it's
Kawhi
guys.
Leonard-
But then it's guys
Kawhi
that will
Leonard-
come up here and say that he's the second best point guard and compare him to
Kawhi
Magic
Leonard,
Johnson.
Kawhi Leonard is a guy who's been hurt in almost damn near every single postseason besides the 2 that he's won. One of the ones he won as a role player. You want to talk about Toronto Raptors, Kawhi Leonard, and how he played great? I'll give you that 100%. But if you're not going to knock Kawhi Leonard for the same reasons as Chris Paul, I just don't like that.
So
at all.
where's KD? Because now I got to go straight to here. Where's KD?
Where's KD?
Top all-time top.
I think he's top 15 to me, close to top 10.
Okay, so KD could be top 15, but Kawhi with 3 rings and 3 Finals MVPs can't be top 15.
Do you understand how long
He's not
Kevin
better
Durant
than
has been
Kawhi.
playing?
He's
You
not
know,
better than KD.
you know, understand
no,
how long
no.
KD's been playing at this level, bro?
Okay, but that even says even more to what Kawhi really is. If he can play in a fraction of the time and do more than what he's done, then come on. What are we talking about?
He won as a role
you
player. It's not hard to
you
win
gotta-
as a role player. He
So
won
we're
as a
talking
role
about-
player
We're talking about. So then why did he get Finals MVP?
because he was the best role player. What do you want him to
Okay,
say?
he was the best on that stage.
Andrew
But
Iguodala
furthermore, though, we're projecting for him to get another ring. I'm assuming he's going to lead his team to that ring and get a Finals MVP. Bro, how many players that have three Finals MVPs are not in that top realm of players? You already said
That's
you
a
have
good
him at
point.
25. I'm saying, like, bro, that one more ring and one more Finals MVP pushes the envelope crazy. And Morris, I know you don't like accolades. I know you're
I
like you're not
despise
an
them.
accolade guy, but this
I don't
is what I'm saying.
understand how
like,
you despise accolades, though, Mars.
Exactly.
I don't
They don't
understand. That
make
doesn't
you-
make
they
sense
make
to
you
me.
better-
Like, what are
they
you
make you
playing
better
this?
at
What are you
basketball.
playing the sport for? Nobody plays the sport for stats, bro. They play for
I don't
accolades.
care. I don't care about the box score either, but this is a whole different tangent. But if I'm talking about how good you are at basketball, an accolade is never going to be brought up. It doesn't prove anything at all. If you can make a whole argument for a player based and rank them, and you don't have to watch a second of them play, you can just read their accolades and read their stats on Basketball Reference. Why would I care? Like the amount of people who have lists,
confused. Like,
and it's
but you
based
say they
on
don't
nothing they've
matter. I
watched.
don't know how they don't like.
Because
I
they
know how
don't
they
make you
matter.
better. They don't make you better. Would Steph have been a better player if he won the 2015 Finals MVP? No, he's the same guy. He just didn't get the accolade. Doesn't make him better at all.
That doesn't
There's
really.
not one
I feel you,
contribution
like,
that
I
would
feel
make
like
him
you. I
better
feel
with
like
that.
I understand that you kind of going against the grain and you feel like you're thinking like higher about this than everybody else. But bro, like, no offense, like I just don't agree. Like I don't understand. I get what you're saying, but only up to a degree because accolades do define players' careers. Like, they do, and to sit here and act like they don't is to me a little ridiculous. Now, do I get your point that sometimes they get it wrong? Because, for example, Marc Gasol, when he won DPOY, but he was second team all defense, that didn't really make too much sense to people. That shit happens. I'm not saying every accolade given out is spot on, but bro, to sit here and discredit people's accolades because they don't, to you, that's not a metric to making them better. That really doesn't make any sense because the way every player in sports history goes into the league, into their sport, is to have those accolades to define their legacy. Like you can't define a legacy without it.
But that's all perception now. What you're talking about is all perception.
It's not
in the way
perception.
That people, it is perception as a point of view. We're seeing that somebody's winning all these rings, and now we're like, dag, he won all these rings. It makes me feel the type of way. But in the way that they played basketball, it didn't change. The way
Hold
that
on.
they played
Hold on,
basketball-
Ron, hold on. Hold on. It's about to get spicy.
that.
It's about to get spicy. Football Breakdown sent a super chat. If accolades don't matter, you can't have MJ over Bron.
That's dumb, but okay.
Why?
Because you can easily make an argument that MJ is better at basketball than LeBron. Like, easily. But if you believe that, you're probably going to go to another thing I hate, which is quoting off the box score, more rebounds, more assists, more career points. It's the same thing I hate. The same thing with accolades. I hate both of them.
So how do you determine one player being better than the other?
Because I think you can judge a player's impact on the game. You can judge their skill set and how that would impact teams. You can.
But
also
if there's
judge...
no impact, well, let's stick with impact.
You can judge impact without winning rings.
That's
fine. There's perception. I don't judge impact without winning rings. People say players are more impactful because they won. That's just not true. It's just a basic way of looking at things. You look at the outcome of something. This team won a ring. This team didn't win a ring. Therefore, this player is more impactful than this player. That's not true. There's situations.
You play the game to win.
So wait.
I agree. You play the game to win. I'm the same person who said I'm taking Robert Horry's career over MJ. I'm 100% aware of that. You play the game to win. I'm also aware that I say I'm taking someone's career with more rings over someone else's. It doesn't make you better. That's my whole argument. I agree that I played the game to win. I call these guys losers all the time. It doesn't make you worse at basketball. That's my whole point. I agree that you should play the game to win. You should play the game to try get those accolades, those rings. Because I would do the exact same thing. But if I'm arguing who's better at basketball, there's no reason for me to say this player has 2 MVPs, a defensive player of the year. Let me talk about their game, but that's something a lot of people don't do.
It's a combination of both, though. Yeah. It's not just a combination
I think it matters, bro. I think both things.
I don't think it
both
matters
things can be
at all.
true.
Yeah, hold on. Mars, I have a question.
About how well someone plays basketball and then bring up something that isn't to do with them playing basketball.
I have a question though, because basketball, obviously, we're talking about a team sport, right? So within the concept of a team sport, would you ever rank a player that is better in terms of the team concept, right? And as a result, the team is winning, as opposed to, like, would you ever consider that player a better basketball or better at basketball than a guy who's individually better?
I think Draymond Green is better than Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
Oh shit. All right,
So
let's ignore that one. Let's
let's
ignore
not ignore that one.
Let's
not ignore that one. I want to dig into this one. Why?
Is that the same? Like, can I give you another example of 2 guys, and you would just hit me with the yes or no? Andre Iguodala better than Devin Booker?
No, Devin Booker's a better player.
Trevor Ariza better than Paul George?
No.
Why?
Because I think what Paul George, Devin Booker, those guys bring to the game, they bring more to the game than Trevor Ariza and who's the other guy?
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, Trevor Ariza and Andre Iguodala. I think they bring more to the game. They haven't been in situations that can get them a ring, but I think they impact their teams more than guys like Trevor Ariza and Andre Iguodala, regardless of the result.
But if they haven't been in situations that, where they can win a ring, isn't that exactly what we're talking about? If they haven't been able to put themselves in a situation where they can get a ring.
It's not about putting yourself in a situation. It's about some of it's fortune. Like, for example, Kevin Garnett in Minnesota that's the best he's ever been. He won the ring in Boston. He got put in a better situation. The best he was in Minnesota. He just didn't have the situation around him that could get him a title. I don't think he was worse because of that. The way I look at it, you can have skill sets and skills that impact winning without winning a title. For example, a player who has a higher impact on winning with no titles is, for me, like a Chris Paul, a Steve Nash, Jason Kidd in his peak. They were all high impact players. They didn't win titles, but I can still look at your game, look at how great of your passer you are, great of a playmaker. For Chris Paul and Steve Nash, efficient scorers, the way your game can translate to a better situation.
What efficient is stats? You said we're ignoring stats.
No, I ignore the box score, the way people quote it with 27, 7, and 7, or Luka Doncic 28, 8, and 8. That means nothing. You're not saying anything about their game. Efficiency, you can talk about someone's efficiency and be like, this player is efficient. You look at their true shooting percentage relative to the rest of the league, you can see they were efficient. You see someone averaging 28 points a game, it doesn't mean you were a better scorer than someone averaging 25. That's why I don't care about these box score stats. That's my whole issue.
I mean, I agree with that to a degree. I got lit up on fucking Instagram yesterday, thanks to the editor. Because
of the Jamal Crawford and scoring thing. Was it that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad example that I said, but I mean, they missed the point, and so they just ran off with that, but whatever.
Fire.
Greatest said, how can I look at their game but not the box score or accolades? But then you call me a stat guy. Like, which one am I? Am I not looking at the box score or am I a stat guy? Like,
well, you got.
I just personally feel like ultimately, Mars, like when you say accolades don't matter, the only thing that I personally can't get behind is, yes, you're right. Like, do I think certain players can be better based off what their skill set is? That's true. Like maybe somebody's taller, a better jump shooter, things of this nature. So that makes them a better basketball player. But I do think when this idea that greatness in terms of like impact and skill set don't coexist with each other. And I personally think, like, for example, if I play point guard and you play point guard, you can shoot better than me, you're taller than me, you might be a better defender. But every time we play, me and my team wins because I run an offense better than you. And I lead the league in steals, or I don't have as many MVPs, but ultimately I'm always beating you. Yeah, you're a better talent than me for sure, but I do think your impact on winning and those accolades do also define you of who's a better player. Like, I just think to take that away, I don't think that's fair, because winning ultimately is how we decide in relative who's better. Like, that's how we decide, okay, I think this person is better because in their career they've done this, and this. And I think when you use an example of like Draymond and Carmelo, I mean, I think some people may think that's crazy, but at the same time, I do think you also have a point, because I do think Draymond's impact on winning is a little bit more significant than a guy like Carmelo. And I do think because of that, that does make him a bit better of a player.
I gotta throw in an example.
But I just don't view impact on winning as rings. But Ron, you can go on.
No, it doesn't have to be just rings though. Like, it could be MVP, DPOY. I think all those things could be accumulation. I mean, Derek Fisher has what, 4 or 5, and I don't look at him as like a
wait.
Impact on winning doesn't mean winning titles or winning awards. That's the thing. Like, it's so, I don't want to sound disrespectful. It's such a basic way of thinking. Like, you just look at the outcome, who won the ring.
But the thing is, but you view players as losers if they don't make it to
the I view you as a loser, but not a worse player. That's my whole, I've been trying to make that point the whole time. I don't view you as a worse player. I have Steve Nash over a lot of people who won titles. I think he's better than them. He's also a loser.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Will Magic be more impact? Will Magic be the same? Will Magic be as impactful as he was on a different team? J-Rob.
Say that again.
Will Magic be as impactful as he is now on a different team?
You'd have to give an example of the team, though.
If he was on the Houston Rockets,
I was actually going to ask.
I do. I think. Like, I mean, with Magic Johnson's skill set, I mean, I think any team that would have got Magic Johnson, I think he makes that team different. Like, the way he plays the game makes the teams different. I think he's a different type.
But do you think the same thing? Do you think the same thing could possibly happen? The same type of dominance of him on a different type of team. I think that when people look at Magic Johnson and his impact, they see this many finals, they see 5 rings, they see an MVP, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's impact was insane. Well, I beg to differ. When I look at the team that which he had a Jamal Wilkes and Norm Nixon, where he started out on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's basically like Luka Doncic coming into the league, playing with the likes of a Jimmy Butler, because Jamal Wilkes was a two-way guy. Norm Nixon was a borderline all-star, so it's like a Fred VanVleet or a Jared Allen. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, and a DPOY type of player like in a Michael Cooper, so a Marcus Smart. So you're asking, let's say, a Luka Doncic in the league with a Marcus Smart, Jimmy Butler, Jared Allen, and fucking LeBron James. You really don't think that team is going to be one of the favorites to win? And the impact is going to be great for Luka Doncic and for the rest of his career?
I mean, what I'm saying about with your point about Magic, bro, I think on any team Magic would have went to, bro, I think he makes an impact. I think Luka on his team, he makes an impact still. And I think ultimately there are players in the NBA, bro, that their talent supersedes their deficiencies. Luka Doncic, his talent supersedes a lot of the deficiencies of the Mavericks, of the Dallas Mavericks. Like, I do think some of the things that make players great, I think in all facets of sports, not just basketball, is the reason why you are considered one of the greatest or the best or on your team is because you're able to lift your team up despite what they may not be good at or what they don't have, because your greatness impacts that much. So to answer your question, yes, I think if Magic Johnson had to go and got drafted to another team, I think he'd still be able to greatly impact the success of that team, for sure. And I don't think he probably could not win a title. I'm just saying. When he went to the Lakers at that time, weren't they being dominated by the Celtics at this time? Wasn't this post that era where Jerry West and company was losing all the time? I think they only had one ring in that little span. So it's not like he went to a team that was dominating his era at the time when he got there.
But would you hold him to the same level?
He came in there and impacted that team significantly, completely changed the style of basketball they played. Went from a system that was predicated on dumping it down to Kareem and going for the hook shot to a system where the ball is forever moving, the transition game. So
would you hold him to the same level, though?
What do you mean, hold him to the same level?
If you hold, would you hold his impact to the same level if he was on a different type of team?
Yeah, I do. I think in terms of like just potential star power of what Magic Johnson had, I think on any team that he would have went to, he would have made that team.
Well, Chris Paul, let's say if he had a career like Chris Paul, he had a crazy amount of impact, but he couldn't get the job done. And people sit here and say that Magic Johnson is more impactful than Chris Paul, mainly because of the rings, correct?
Yeah, but I also think he was more impactful because he was a culture changer in LA for that team. I think he's had more impact on his franchise than
CP3 has an impact on every franchise he's a part of.
Never to the
level of Magic, bro. Never to.
Here we go right back to we started the show with Magic and CP3.
Don't say close or it's not close. The impact that Magic Johnson has had
off the court. If we're talking about off the court, we're talking about off the court. I can hear what you're saying. We talk about on the court. On the court, bro.
Dub, you gotta understand, Magic throughout the 80s was quite was quite possibly the best player in the NBA during that stint.
To accommodate this guy, bro.
Yeah, that's tough because you're comparing a guy you can argue has been the best in the NBA at times, and Chris Paul's never been the best player in the NBA.
I could get with you on that, but I mean, let's understand who else was in the league. I mean, Mars made this a point in one of the last episodes. I mean, CP3 was playing with the likes of LeBron James, playing with the likes of a Kobe Bryant, playing with the likes of Tim Duncan as well. So of course, I mean, when you got players of that caliber, you're not going to be held up to that light. I mean, those are guys who are all in the top 10. Magic Johnson,
bro. Magic played with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan.
Magic Johnson,
Kareem.
Magic Johnson played with a bunch of insanely great players himself, bro.
He was never
Dr. J and company, bro.
Magic,
like, come on, let's be real, dude.
Magic only had Larry Bird and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then when Michael Jordan started coming into the league, Michael Jordan took over the league in the 90s.
Dr. J was in that mix too.
Dr. J, but Dr. J's not in the top 10. We got Kobe in the top 10. You got Tim Duncan.
But we were talking about popularity.
You got Shaq.
We're talking about popularity. Are we not?
No, we're not. No, we're not talking about popularity. You guys are shifting. Now you guys are shifting. I'm not talking about popularity. I'm saying impact as an impact on the court. Impact as a basketball player on the court.
It's not.
Wait. We were talking about.
You're saying that.
We were talking about the impact that he had on the Lakers culture. He changed that entire thing. That has that has something to do with on the court, of course. You know what I mean? You have to be able to do what you have to do. But what I'm saying is like everything that happens off the court plays a major part in this too. A major part.
I'm talking about CP3 and his impact on the court. Magic Johnson, he had a crazy impact on the Lakers for sure, but that's something that's measured outside of the court. This is Allen Iverson-esque. Honestly, if we want to really be serious, we should hold Allen Iverson to a higher level, and everyone should hold Allen Iverson to a higher level. Because
Allen Iverson's number 2 on my list in terms of cultural impact in the league.
For sure. But does that make Allen Iverson a better basketball player because of that? Does that?
This is what I was saying when it comes to who was the better shooting guard, Kobe or Allen Iverson, up to the point of 2001. That's exactly what I'm saying. Does it make Allen Iverson a better shooting guard? No, it does not.
That's my point.
That's what I'm saying. And you was like, Allen Iverson.
When you was on that train, I was not arguing against you. I did not come at you at that. I said that AI was in that conversation. All I'm saying, I'm using the same point which you're making. Even though that Magic Johnson did have a cultural impact, that overall did not make him a better basketball player.
And I didn't claim that.
But nobody said that.
All right, let's move. Hold on, Jay. We got super chats.
I got one question I got to ask. I want to ask everybody, specifically Mars. I know it's not going to move you, Mars, but I still want to ask the question because it's similar to what Dub just said. But I'm like, if Steph Curry doesn't get drafted to the Warriors, let's say he goes to his hometown, Charlotte Hornets, who have been shit forever. He doesn't win no rings. Let's say, maybe he does get an MVP. He plays the same way he plays. He still leads the league in threes and whatnot. I don't think Steph's in a lot of our top 5 point guards like that. And if he is, he's at 5. Without those rings, without the Finals MVP he just got, without the impact of being on a dynasty, the Golden State Warriors dynasty, I don't think we look at Steph as exalted as he is right now.
That's a fact.
So that's why I say winning impacts who you are as a player. And
bro, that is a good point, because if we had Steph Curry in like a Damian Lillard role, where
because Dame's been doing that.
Ron,
Ron, you're right, that's the only point I'm trying to make.
Right.
Winning does define you as a player, because this be my main point that I say about winning. When you have the ability to take your team to the promised land and hoist that trophy, that basically says kind of what Giannis was just saying, bro. I was the best player this year. Like, maybe not the most talented, but my abilities as a player led my team to beat everybody else and be victorious. I'm at the top of the mountain.
Right. Okay. So, sorry, chat is getting this confused of what I was trying to get at with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is an amazing basketball player, but he doesn't win, right? Mm-hmm. Steph Curry's an amazing basketball player, but he has won. If you put them both in the same position of neither of them winning anything, does Steph Curry get ranked in the top 10? Does that discussion even happen?
No, probably not. It doesn't matter how many threes he makes. It wouldn't be.
And to go,
he could have still broke.
Bro, because Ray Allen had the record.
Broke Ray Allen's record. Because Ray Allen had the record. Ray Allen's not even in most people's top 15.
Bro, he might not even be people's top 50.
Yeah. So if Steph Curry would have broke that record, nobody would be talking about it. Those rings, at the end of the day, to me, nobody's saying that you're not good if you don't win rings and accolades. Nobody's saying that. You can be talented, but to be able to cement yourself as the best or one of the best, you need that stamp of approval. Like, that's like your letters, bro. Like, you need them.
Hold on, bro. There is so Jimmy Two Shoes. Steph is better than Dame without accolades. And then Greatest says Dame is only amazing because he's playing with the green light. Bro, Steph is playing with a greener light. Like, what?
Fluorescent green light.
Bro, Steph's green light is like so insane. It's insane. He could shoot a half-court shot and no one's going to care.
Yeah, I'm say all the shooters.
So bro, there is no difference between Steph Curry's light and Dame's light.
Facts. I think green light is green light. I don't think there's a difference in green light.
Facts.
Steph just looks
I was
crazy.
just emphasizing my point.
Yeah, of course, but
Steph would take a dribble across half court, shoot a shot, and then the shot goes in, he'll turn around and get to just doing this.
Bro, and then this, y'all always overrate Dame. He has won nothing. That's what we're trying to say, bro.
Hey, that's like, the point, bro. Listen, that's the point.
It's
a nasty.
Literally
nasty.
That right there, that comment right there, that proved the point, though. That like right there, that
in theory,
literally proved the point.
Bro, in theory, I understand trying to fathom ranking players based on their basketball skill, but there's a natural, unconscious bias when it comes to winning. Facts. You're just ranking these players, which you think is unbiased based on winning, but it plays a factor for sure.
There's people in the chat that's missing the point, though, too, because everybody's saying, well, Steph would still be better. Steph would still be better. But if Steph didn't win anything, nobody cares if he was better. That's what JD is trying to do.
Bro, if Jokic wins 2 NBA championships, you might project him into the top 10. If he doesn't win 1 championship, no more MVPs, you're not talking about him anymore.
Thank you.
All right, but let's move on. Dub host. Let's go. Lyndon.
JD, where JDW? Wow.
Let's absolutely freaking go, chat. Lyndon E. Higgy. Mars, don't you have 2 all-time lists, the best and greatest? Where would Kawhi rank if he won another ring and finals MVP on the greatest list? That's a good question.
He's even lower on my greatest list than my best list.
When you say lower, closer to 1, or?
No, because because I don't care about accolades. The way I do greatest is how good you were and how long you sustained that for.
Okay,
and Kawhi
so
has the worst longevity of any elite player that's ever been. So
his
greatest list is even lower. So
okay, so lower than 25. Got it.
Yes.
Football breakdown. Then LeBron should be number 1 on your list, Mars. LeMayo.
LeBron's my goat.
LeMayo.
Mad Max. To say Dre over Melo is crazy when Dre wins you 40 games without Steph and Clay. No. What we doing here?
I don't judge players by floor raising ability because I don't care about making bad teams average. I care about making good teams great. And Draymond Green does that better than Carmelo Anthony, which is why I care about what he brings to a team more than Carmelo. But yeah,
That's kind of unfair because Melo was never part of a situation.
and I believe no, because I don't need to go based on what Carmelo is in. I can look at Carmelo's game, an isolation scorer, a weak playmaker, a bad defender, and I assume it's a hypothetical. I assume Carmelo on a great team with those skills would be less valuable to than Draymond Green on a great team, because I'm assuming Carmelo Anthony, if your team is great, Carmelo is not going to be your best scorer on that team, in my opinion. He's also going to make your defense worse, and he needs the ball, but he's a bad playmaker, so he's automatically lowering the ceiling of that team. Whereas Draymond Green, to me, can only boost the ceiling of that team because he's the best defender of this generation. He's a great passer. He works with other superstars because he doesn't need the ball to score, and he does all the little things. He's a great rebounder and all of those things where I think he'd be more valuable, which is why I think Draymond Green is a better player than Carmelo.
So what I'm hearing is that since Draymond Green complements it well, just like a role player would, that's why he's a better ceiling raiser. The way I'm looking at it is, if Carmelo Anthony is on the team, look at the 2009 Nuggets, for instance. They went and battled against the Los Angeles Lakers with Chauncey Billups as a guy. So we put Carmelo Anthony on a team that is able to be ceiling raised. So let's say we put him on the Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers. That's a team that definitely could contend to titles, and they could possibly win titles because they have a player like Chris Paul, they have a defense set, and he'll be the best scorer on that team. So I think it's just kind of disingenuous to be like, oh, well, I see he can floor raise, but he can't ceiling raise.
I'm not saying I'm not saying Melo couldn't be successul in these situations, by the way. Like, Melo on the Clippers, he has all the chance to win a title. I think Draymond Green is still more valuable.
It's weird though because these are two completely different players.
Yeah, like, you said it was based off.
They do completely different things.
You said it was based off a hypothetical, and I understand and acknowledge that you're saying that it's based off a hypothetical. But then I could just go around and say, well, damn, if I put a team perfectly constructed for Carmelo Anthony, him as my number one option, I think that's more valuable for me and my team to winning a championship than Draymond Green. Because we only seen Draymond Green as a role player. We only seen Draymond Green as a role player.
If he was drafted to Detroit.
Oh man, Draymond Green wouldn't even be in discussion.
No. I'm talking about both of them. Actually, it's funny you said
Carmelo Anthony.
If Carmelo was drafted to Detroit with Chauncey, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, and if he would have went and started at the 4, Chauncey was just said this a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
that it would have been a whole different Carmelo.
Yeah,
not only would he have been able to maximize his talents on that team, but he would have been taught how to play the game more in a team facet, playing with those vets above him, and he wouldn't have
had. Also, what you're doing, Mars, you're saying Draymond Green in the role that he was as a third option. I mean, maybe you could be right. Him as a third option is better than Melo.
What does third option mean? What does third option mean?
Like the third scorer.
Oh, okay.
Third scorer. You want to say he was the second best player? I know you hold that dear to yourself.
So the option is only a scorer.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if you want to define it as that, I'm not going to be mad at you for defining it as that. At the end of the day, Draymond Green was.
You defined it as that.
Okay, I've defined it like that. You could define it how you want. I'm not going to have this debate with you though.
Debonair's on top.
Debonair, bro. I'm on your team, bro.
My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Friendly fire.
All I'm saying is,
my
bad. You're seeing Draymond Green and him as essentially a role player and how impactful he was, which I agree with. But if they're on the same sphere and Melo's the leading guy for his team, Draymond's the leading guy for his team, I'm leaning more towards Melo and his team, in my opinion.
All right, next super chat. Mad Max, you give Magic anybody, Magic was going to make them a winner dub. It's Magic Johnson. He's a different caliber player. Lyndon.
Oh, my God.
Lyndon with another super chat. Dub directing his hate to Steph to Magic. Hate of Steph to Magic, I think. He knew he couldn't push his CP3 over Steph agenda, so went after Magic.
I could push my agenda to whoever. Honestly.
Maybe.
Especially when I was trying to get into the impact before we got derailed for the cultural impact. CP3 and the teams he's been a part of, he's had a lesser supporting cast than every single one of those guys. And the way that he was being able to compete in the league and contend at a high level shows the impact that he has on the court. Want to measure things off the court.
Where
that's
did
on
this
y'all.
CP3 love come from?
CP3 barely.
CP3's
I'm not
that
gonna
guy.
say barely.
Hey,
but
I like
I'm not gonna say
CP3,
barely, but I don't even think CP3 stacks up to Westbrook, bro.
So okay.
No, he clears Westbrook.
No, he does not clear Westbrook.
Bron, Westbrook is
Ron,
your
come on,
greatest
dog.
point guard of all time. So
Yo,
of course,
you
he
know,
doesn't.
JD, you should have put Ron top left long ago.
Yeah, you're right.
How?
I've been doing
Yo,
that.
if we're talking about accolades and ability to play, Russell Westbrook got an MVP.
on.
The fuck are we
Come
talking
on,
about?
come on.
Russell, yo, if KD doesn't leave, Russell Westbrook got championships and stuff. What are we talking? Yo, Russell Westbrook was undoubtedly one of the top players in the NBA during that campaign where he was going berserk on OKC.
But
With shitty
when it
teams,
translates, it doesn't translate as well as CP3's impact to his
I'm
teams.
talking about career now. Hey, now I'm just being completely nasty and just talking about straight accolades.
Yeah, bro.
Straight accolades.
You're
Russell
talking about
Westbrook-
open gym. Russell Westbrook is a way better open gym basketball player than Chris Paul. You are absolutely
All right,
correct.
And then we could talk about NBA too. And Chris
No.
West. All right, let's do this.
We
now.
can't
Let's do
talk
this
about
now.
NBA.
Russell Westbrook, a better scorer.
Ron, you're being a
Russell
disgusting man right
Westbrook,
now, bro.
more athletic. Russell Westbrook, better rebounder. Russell Westbrook, you guys that say Chris Paul's a better playmaker.
He
But Russell
is.
Westbrook
I don't want to hear about that
averages more
rebounding
assists.
shit as a
He
point guard.
averages more
Come
assists.
on, Ron. Don't
Russell
do that
Westbrook.
box score stuff.
And then
Come on, bro.
then you'll give CP defense. Okay, I'll give CP
Clears
defense.
on defense. I think when
I
it
wouldn't
comes
say
to
clear on defense.
I think when it comes to late
Players on
game,
defense.
Bro,
I think-
controlling the basketball game, and that's
this
your
is why
job
I
as a point
say-
guard.
And-
He's
and
the
it-
one of the
okay,
greatest
he
floor
just said
generals.
empty stats carnival CP2. He hasn't won nothing.
But
nothing.
he hasn't won anything due to
Nothing,
the
nothing,
injuries.
nothing.
We walked around this
and
timeline
then
already,
due to
bro.
injuries, and then all.
It's
all right,
just
we don't
a
have
fact.
to get back into
But we
it.
don't
We
It's
give
don't.
just
Russ
a
no
fact.
excuses. But CP gets a bunch of excuses.
Russ
Oh,
blew a
Blake
3-1
Griffin
lead
got
with
hurt.
Kevin Durant,
his
bro. What
hamstring.
are we doing
Oh, he
now?
was playing with James Harden.
What are we doing?
If
What are we
DeAndre
doing
Ayton
now?
wouldn't have been mad at Monty Williams,
Listen.
then maybe they would have did this.
Ron,
Chris Paul's the
Ron,
biggest if
Ron,
ever.
Ron, but nobody. I don't sit here and be like, oh yeah, Russ isn't that guy because he didn't win rings. I say that Russ is better than. I say that Chris Paul is better than Russ because of what Jay said. His ability to control the floor, his ability to create guys involved, his ability to be composed. And you want
Russ
to talk about his
averages more
scoring.
assists, so it
And we
seems
talk
to me like he
hold
gets
up,
more
Ron,
guys
hold up, Ron. And when we talk about the scoring as well, maybe Russell Westbrook.
Russ led
puts
the
on-
league in scoring. Don't even talk about it. The way he
Ron,
clears
Ron,
the defense,
I let
Russ
you
clears the
talk.
scoring.
I let
No,
you
we're
talk.
not about to talk about scoring.
Ron,
We're not
Ron,
going to talk about scoring.
When we're going to talk
we
about
are
scoring,
not going
yes,
to talk about
Russ
scoring with
produced
Russell
score.
Westbrook
But when we're
and
talking
Chris
about
Paul.
who is hard,
Where
about
is Bradley Beal?
bro, when we're talking about late game situations, bro, it's definitely harder to stop CP3 than it is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's a guy I see numerous times step up, even in the playoffs, bro.
I've seen numerous
And
times
hit
where Chris Paul
big
was
fucking
nowhere to be
shot.
found either.
Because he was hurt.
All right, let's move. Last super chat here. Mad Max. Dub. Dr. J is right outside the top 10. And prior to Kobe and LeBron, whose resume?
Resume wise.
Whose resume-wise? Dr. Resume is similar. Dr. J was in most people top 10. Dr. J, it's like their LBJ Kobe. I'm so sorry. That was difficult. But, wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, we need some commas and and periods in that.
Yo, please next time. Commas and periods, fellas. Andrew G. To me, CP3 clears Russ. He's a better point guard. And what I think you meant to say, Andrew, is point god. Yo, this is a great time for me to recognize the Players' Choice YouTube regular and elite members. So I want to shout y'all out, man. Thank you guys so much for supporting Players' Choice. You guys have been amazing, man. You guys are the reason that we're able to do this. So shout out to our regular and elite members, Devin Mabry, Broctopus, iOS Inc., TC the Don, Gideon, Tyson Thomas, Ace Boogie, Devontae Bailey, King J, Zeke Noel, Kendrick's Best Squad, 40KOW, LeBron James with some more words, Dorian Clayton, Sacred Gaming, Grande Jones, Tino Bolton, Uncle Tito, Real Max Sauce, Josh P23, Elder Rufus, Nick T, Bait, K-Dog, Odd Malik, Jagars Underworld, MC Robinson, Kenny White, Big Meech, James Gaz, 123. Whoo, that is a lot of names. Mamba Multiverse sent a super chat, said, who's a better floor general, CP3 or LeBron? That is actually a really good question. I do like this one.
Yeah, for sure.
LeBron.
Chris Paul.
Ooh.
What does floor general mean?
In my eyes, is being able to get teammates involved and have your teammates perform at a high level.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
LeBron
that-
James by far.
CP3 has more instances
By
of
that
his
definition.
teammates No. CP3 has more instances of his teammates playing at a higher level than LeBron
Floor-
James' his teammates.
It's not
Floor
true.
general is like
That's a fact.
controlling the
not true.
pace
Yeah.
of the offense and
Uh-huh.
dissecting a defense and making sure people in the right positions to score. Like that's how I see it.
I would take
Nobody
it a
in-
step further when it comes to controlling the pace, not just of the offense, but the game. Like you
Yeah,
control
Right.
yeah.
the game.
Right.
Mhm.
How
Yes,
how
sir.
the pace of the other team is.
CP3 ain't controlling no
Speeding
basketball
them
game
up.
better than LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
Wow.
I think it's kind of preference at that point. Like obviously you're going to take LeBron because of his again
Do you
accolades.
Do you watch CP3? Like, come on, bro. I know you're a
I
LeBron
lived
fan,
in
bro.
Phoenix, bro.
I know you're a LeBron fan, but come on,
so I
son.
watched him.
We don't have
I
to
was able to
lie.
watch him like at real.
We don't
games
have
up there.
to lie about that.
Nobody's
LeBron
lying,
James,
bro.
LeBron James,
To
and what
sit
he
here
does.
and act like LeBron James is that CP3.
CP3 is better. That's not a ridiculous
clearly
thing to say.
It is ridiculous.
It's not that ridiculous, J Rob,
I think it's
honestly.
ridiculous.
It's debated.
I
You can
personally-
debate it.
it's-
You can
it's
debate
not
it,
that
I
bro.
don't think it's debatable. I don't think it's debatable. I think they're both
CP3
elite, but Bron is clearly to me the better floor general.
I remember-
they're both the greatest. Some of the greatest at the title of
Why?
floor general, but Bron is easily the better one.
Why? Because when it comes to the teammates that is
'Cause
involved,
what's
I
the
think
biggest
CP3 does
dividend of? What's the biggest way to measure a floor general?
Don't you dare
honestly.
say it. Don't you dare
I'll
say
say
it.
that shit.
What are you gonna say?
I'll say that shit.
What are you gonna say?
What
Say
am I
it,
gonna
J-Rob.
say?
Say
you
You
it.
know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm
Say
going to
it.
say. But to use the metric of a floor general, because you said gets people involved, production out of their players, bro. LeBron James literally has done that to win titles.
Fuck out of here. That's why I'm not
To go
with
to
this, bro.
finals and
That's
win
why I'm
titles,
not
bro.
with this.
Putting
Yo,
people
this
in the
is
best
why
position,
Yo,
getting dues paid. Matthew Dellavedova
Chat.
got paid.
Chat,
Tristan Thompson got paid.
you see,
Come
this
on.
is what we talk about.
Like,
You
bro,
can't just
let's
hold on to
just-
this winning
let's
and just
be
and
real,
just set.
bro.
We got to be able to
You use
separate
floor
the talents
general.
from the
You can't-
winning,
I'm
bro.
sorry, I'm not separating the, especially if we're talking about floor general.
There's more
I'm sorry,
reasons
bro.
on why they
I can't
won
separate
than just
floor
LeBron
general
James
from
and
winning,
his
bro.
floor
Because
general,
to be a
bro.
floor general, that means you have to impact winning.
There's more
You are
things that
literally
led to winning
setting
than
up
just
your
him
team
and
to
his
make winning
ability
plays,
to be a
bro.
floor general. There's more things that led on to that. It's his
I hear you,
defense.
gang,
It's
but
his
nah, I'm
ability
not
to
jacking.
score. Like,
Yo, I
come on,
appreciate-
son.
I feel you, but nah, bro. If you
What
talk
you
about
mean,
floor
nah,
general,
bro? Those are just the
a
facts. You
floor
can't. If
general
you
is
want to
some-
measure
like
it
you
all,
said, when you
want-
said it, you said a floor general to you is a guy who gets people involved, gets the most production out of people, puts them in the right place to make plays and create. And you can sit here and say Chris Paul does it at a high level, which he has, not taking that away. But to say he does that at a higher level than LeBron James, to me, that math don't math up.
just because he
Because
ain't win rings.
If you're talking about a guy making the plays to put a team in position to win games, because that's what a floor general does, Dub.
That's what CP3 does. That's what CP3 does.
Yeah, but he's not done that at a higher level than LeBron James.
You just say he
That's
hasn't
just
won
it.
rings.
Accountability,
That's it.
bro.
That's all
it.
you're doing. That's all you're
not-
doing.
that's
And
not
I'm
all
saying
I'm
that's
doing,
a
bro.
false thing to do because there's more things that led to them
All right,
winning
so-
than just him and his floor general abilities. It's the way he's such a dominant scorer. It's the way that he plays defense. It's all of those things all into one. And his,
Ooh.
on
You
top
also
of that,
said-
Hold on, hold on.
But you also said on this panel, and this is where you gotta also take in check. You also said on this panel that Chris Paul is an elite defender. You've said that before, so don't
I
bring
have.
up defense as a slight. Don't bring up defense and say,
What you
"Oh,
talk- it's
LeBron's
not a
better
slight.
defender."
When I'm acknowledging
you gotta remember,
somebody's-
Chris Paul's also led the NBA in steals. He's also
It's-
made a few all defensive teams.
J-Rob,
Don't use
J-Rob,
defense,
it's
bro.
about-
It's
about-
not a
J-Rob,
take, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about what led to them winning. There's more factors than just him being a floor general than them led to them winning. You can't sit and say just because they won a ring, he's a better floor general. Stephen Curry a better floor
Could Chris
general just
Paul-
because he
could
won a
Chris
ring?
Paul be a great floor general and lead any of the teams that LeBron is? Let me say not any of them. Okay, I'll give. Let's do 2015. Let's do 2015. Could Chris Paul, as a floor general, put that team in a position to make a legitimate playoff run, or would he have lost probably in the first round?
Well, I mean, if he's playing with Kyrie Irving and
Just answer my
CP3, it's a whole
question, bro.
different
You said
thing.
yes
I
or
don't
no
know, probably
question, bro.
not.
They
That's
probably would have
because
lost, right?
that's because LeBron James and him being a better player than LeBron James. What you're doing, you're taking LeBron James as the player and trying to apply that as floor general and seeing how they won chips. No, bro, like it's a
literally,
weird thing
part
to
of his
do.
play- It's not a weird thing to
It's
do.
a part
'cause
of his
LeBron
thing.
literally- LeBron
Yes,
has
it
literally
is.
been a floor general his whole career, bro.
I'm not saying that's false.
Offenses have okay. Let me ask y'all a question. The panel. Do y'all look at Jokic as a floor general?
Point forward.
So he's not a floor general.
I don't understand.
I wouldn't necessarily look at him like a floor general, but
I personally, Mars, in my eyes, I kind of put you on that. Like floor general, what they're trying to say is a floor general is a guy who commands an offense, bro. Like he commands the offense. He's like the playmaker, sets everybody up for success. So that's what the ideal definition of a floor general is.
It's more than that because there are point guards who aren't floor generals, or they're just not like great at it.
Pull that super chat up too.
That's why I'm trying to get to these. Mad Max said, all LeBron teammates get worse with him. CP3 teammates get better. The myth of LBJ floor general skills is a joke. He's a great scorer playmaker, not floor general.
So he's not a floor general, but he's gonna pass Magic Johnson this year in assists.
Bro, but floor general, bro, you're mixing floor general and playmaker. You're mixing floor general and playmaker. You're mixing floor general and playmaker.
Come on, guys, fellas, are we really going to act like being a floor general and getting assists is not that? If you're gonna sit here and say, Dub, if you're gonna go here and tell
Chris Paul has
that
more
assists don't apply to being a floor general,
J-Rob, but
fellas,
J-Rob, what you're getting confused is you can be a floor general and not be getting the assists. Like I'm reading the defense and seeing where my teammates need to be to set them up for success for a full play. Like I'm gonna dish it over here to go to the corner, and then the corner's gonna kick it down to the post, and they're gonna score. That's not LeBron's assist.
Okay, to your point. Okay, to your point, JD. Chris Paul did what you just said at a higher level than LeBron James.
And I'm not arguing LeBron over Chris Paul because I'm saying it's debatable.
I'm not. Obviously, my conversation is with Dub. I'm asking you the question, but that question really wasn't for you, JD. It was for Dub because the way you explained it is a good explanation. So, Dub, you're gonna sit here and tell me that he does that better at a higher level. And that super chat to me was a waste of time.
I'm gonna tell you.
That gives any context to anything.
All right, this is the last thing, and then we're moving.
CP3 is better in my opinion at reading and breaking down. Well, they could be the same, but they're damn near to each other, reading and breaking down defenses. I think he does a better job at understanding his personnel, a better job at getting guys in positions to succeed, and a better job of elevating his teammates that LeBron James has ever done. Anytime, the majority of times that LeBron James have been teammates with people, their production has went down, and they were lesser versions of themselves, and those are just the facts.
All right. Mad Max, LBJ played 20 seasons. Magic played what? 12. How is LeBron taking 8 seasons to pass Magic in assists? Help your point, J-Rob. Lyndon.
It helps my point because Chris Paul been playing damn near the same amount of years. It's nowhere close, no?
Chris Paul's
and we're arguing for him, right? Chris Paul done played, 19 seasons, 20 seasons? He nowhere in the mix. Not even close.
Because I know that's not
Jesus
true.
Christ.
All right, Lyndon sent a super chat.
Chris Paul's definitely above LeBron in assists.
100% above LeBron.
Holy shit, bro. These super chats are coming crazy, bro. Okay, hold on.
10,977.
How far apart?
Chris, 5 different years. And
no, that's a fact.
Yeah.
How far is it apart? Yeah, I might have tripped out with that one.
And to answer that super chat, Magic is number 1 in assists is above LeBron in assists because he the GOAT. That's why.
Chris Paul's 900. Chris Paul's like 900 assists above LeBron.
All right.
Definitely in front of there.
Lyndon, who's prime better than CP3? Whose prime's better, CP3 or Westbrook?
I think Russ is better.
Russ.
Mamba Multiverse, the definition of floor general is a PG or other player who provides leadership by running the offense. Yeah, I mean, I think there's more to it, but in essence, it's the person who leads the offense, yes. There's a little bit more nuance to it. But anyway, Dub, final words.
God bless. I hope all you guys have an exquisite day and enjoy your evening.
Ron.
Gridiron, tonight, 6 Pacific time. You gonna catch Dub on there. You gonna catch J-Rob on there. My man Bama gonna be on there being extremely nasty. Sports Fluent to be on there. Y'all come tap in. We got some exclusive content for y'all tonight. It will be a great episode. Hashtag Carr over Lamar.
J-Rob.
Yo, can I shamelessly plug something in here?
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie, fellas. I got this project going on. Dub kind of knows about it. Ron knows about it a little bit. But I got this burner account on Twitter. So everybody in here, I was going to put the link in the chat. It would mean a lot to me if y'all could go out your way if you have a Twitter account, just to go follow the page, interact with it. I'm not going to lie. I'm cooking up something right now. This project is kind of a big deal. But if you could follow, I would appreciate that. So,
Bro's plugging a burner. Follow me at Real Jordan Deal.
Follow me at Real Jordan.
No, real shit.
Like what? Plugging the burner is crazy.
It'll make more sense when we get off this chat, bro. But when we get off the live, I'll explain. But
got you.
If you could go follow that burner, I would appreciate it, y'all. For real.
Mars, final words.
Would mean a lot. Oh, last part, JD. Last part.
Yo, J-Rod.
Last part. Last part. This is important. This is important information.
I'm sure it isn't.
It is. I put this in the Discord as well. Also, if you follow the Twitter, I'm also giving away a pair of off-white 2s.
Okay, that was important.
Dead stock off-white 2s. I'm picking at random. So if you literally just follow the Twitter page, it doesn't matter the size, because either if they fit you or not, that's a.
All right, they get it. Put all that stuff on the Twitter, and they'll follow the rules. All right, Mars.
Thank you.
JD got to take a shit or something.
I have many more agendas to push, so.
More agendas coming soon. Euro.
I have a lot to say, but for the sake of ending the stream, JD, I don't want to torture you any longer.
Yeah,
you have a lot to say?
Go take your douche, JD. We know that's what you got to do. I can see the sweat trickling off your forehead.
I'm not sweating. I'm just now I'm curious, like what Euro has to say. But we want to end.
I was just gonna plug everything, man. Shout out to the PC fam, everybody. Like Ron said, PC Gridiron. We got a lot of great stuff going on. Obviously, shout out to the panel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss all of this great content that we got going on.
Turn that shit on.
And not just the videos that we're putting up, but also the lives. PC Footy. Obviously, they're doing great things. So, what else we got? We Are Not the Sames. We got all kinds of crazy good shit,
bro. And there's even more stuff in the tuck that you guys have no idea what's coming. It's gonna be disgusting going into the fall. Chat, oh my god, We Are Not the Same. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, man. Smoking layups. Peace out.
Yes, sir.